For a shit show, dude. This is an amazing podcast with amazing viewers, and we are live. What is going on? Wow, how we doing? Good to see you.
Hey, everybody.
I don't know if you was quick. Alex said this episode might be a shit show. I'm not sure if he meant it or not.
No, well, you know, I mean, I think we do a good job of like making the conversation kind of flow among our 7 members here and like not step on each other when we're trying to talk and stuff like that. But in the pre-show, it gets a little gets a little intense. Yeah. All of a sudden, like 3 of us are talking at once and everybody's just like, blah, 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 blah. Yeah. And I was like, okay, like if this is any indication of how this is going to go today.
Like Mash isn't even here. He's like, I'm out.
Brand VR just wrote, they made it. We made it to our own show.
Woo! I'm here. I swear to God, I'm here. Is there a podcast or something going on?
Yeah, it's live.
Did you eat the sandwich?
No, I had to go wash my hands. I was in the middle of eating a sandwich.
A beef sandwich, everyone. A beef sandwich.
Who doesn't want a beef sandwich?
I thought you was going to show that sandwich. Is that a salted beef sandwich?
That is just a roast beef, like a roast beef.
Just as good.
Mash's beef.
That's just
Mash's beef.
Yeah, she does.
Roots, can we have a look at your Coke? Can we talk about the bottle of Coke you've got for the viewers?
Yeah.
And maybe listeners, you know, it's got a special label on it. It looks like normal Coke, but
yeah, it says Refresco on it.
And
Yum.
And where do you get that? Where do you import that from?
It says it's from Mexico, right on here.
Nice.
And do you go to Mexico to get
product of Mexico? Like I was saying before the show, the Americans, United States, we don't get real sugar. We get high fructose corn syrup.
Oh, so you have to go out of the country to get real Coke.
Oh, dude,
gotta get the Mexican stuff.
Actually, my grocery store carries it, but
yeah,
it's good. It's good stuff. Yeah,
I did not know that. I did not know that. I'm going to look at my Coke now to see.
Even though it's probably high fructose corn syrup.
Really?
Yeah, because
I get my Coke from a dealer.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. I was hoping they would.
Is he Mexican?
Cocaine in there.
He could be.
Like Elon.
Eric, you weren't supposed to say it on camera like that.
I'm going to look now on the ingredients of UK Coke because you guys have got me a bit worried.
Yeah, I mean, you shouldn't drink either. If we're
neither one of them are probably good. That's true.
They're both
but if you're going to drink
battery acid,
drink that's true. Drink the one that has real sugar in it. But yeah, isn't it? I guess that is kind of redundant to worry about the sugar when it's like Mash said, the battery acid that you're drinking.
Yeah, it'll like dissolve a penny if you drop it in there. You know, like that shit is brutal.
I did actually use I used Diet Coke. I think it was with aluminum for the American listeners, and
aluminum
to remove. Is it? Yeah. To remove rust from my car.
Yeah, it removes the rust from your guts too if you drink it.
Yeah, and everything else.
And everything else.
Only if you ever.
Well, you know, here's the good thing with all the money that we all made off from Apple because they paid us to say what we said last week that we can afford premium drinks now. We can.
That's right.
We don't have to go with Coke because we're all Apple shills, and Apple was so concerned about what the CruCast said that they had to come and pay us to say it because they're super.
Did you go for
like,
the
wow,
comments?
it's the CruCast. We need to pay. Oh my God, I had to stop. I had to stop looking at the comments.
My bank wouldn't even cash the check. It was so big. Like,
as long as they send me the headset, I don't even want to check. Just send me the headset. I'm happy. That's enough.
God damn it! Yeah, that was an intro. I mean, that was a crazy show last week because obviously we was riding in off like being excited about Quest Pro. Then the Apple thing dropped, and then like I don't know if you guys saw. I did a tweet earlier about ever since about a day, I guess, after the Pro Vision was announced. I started seeing certain tweets like, yeah, it's nothing new, guys. Like, you know, this has been here for ages. We can do this for ages. The Quest Pro can do this. And I'm like, just because certain things did it first, it doesn't mean they're going to do it the best. And that's what's going to be remembered kind of thing. But I am glad those other things have existed. But I found it really strange that it started then turning a little bit hostile, almost angry that Apple are now getting the limelight. But didn't we want that? Didn't we want something like that to happen?
Apparently not. I thought we did. Apparently we didn't. There was so many people that were so mad. You know what I love? I love the arguments where people are like, well, I can get 7 Quest 2s for that price.
Oh, yeah, I saw that.
Oh, fantastic. So what are you going to take 7 of them, jam them together and make a freaking, Vision Pro? Is that how it works? Like, Shit, I can buy 50 loaves of bread too. It doesn't smash it together and make a steak. It doesn't work that way, people.
That definitely won't work with bread. But I like
You know what
it.
it reminds me of? It reminds me of the way that PC VR gamers were when Quest came out.
Yeah.
It's like, it seemed, before that, people would pretend like they wanted VR to blow up and become this big thing. But when Quest came along, it seemed like the enthusiast branch of the PC VR gamers just kind of wanted to keep VR as their little secret or something. And it seems like the similar things happening here now. Someone has a different vision for the tech, and it seems like gamers especially are really pushing back hard against it.
Yeah. Brad, you shared like an analytical interest thing. Was it Reddit based or something about the interest or something like that? You shared like a graph.
Oh yeah. I'm friends with I'm friends with some of the Reddit mods for pretty much all the VR subreddits.
Yeah.
And they did like a 30-day. They literally did their built-in Reddit stats for how much views, how much visits all the VR subreddits were getting, and the Apple announcement made all of those go up like 5 times more than normal. And like even the Quest 3 announcement didn't even nudge those numbers up compared to the Apple thing did. So yeah.
I mean, what does that say to you? Like, how do you assess that as an
That means
analytically? Sorry. Yeah.
that means people who are not in our bubble are actually looking up VR. That's the way.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's the important thing. That's the bit I don't really get. Like, why everyone's being so angry about. Suddenly, I thought everyone was really happy, but then I don't know. The stuff I've been reading is the opposite, and it's confusing.
It's
People love to hate.
just what I was saying last week. They can't get it, and so they're angry, and so they're lashing out. And
You did say that.
that sucks, right? But I mean, somebody was saying on our show, I think it was you, Mash, or maybe Wes. Not everything is made for everybody. Like that's just the reality. There's certain things that are made for certain people, certain price points, and just accept it and just get what you can get and let the tech go. We're gonna get a good version that's cheaper in a few years. So
what threw me off was that it wasn't even so much the everyday people that were DMing me or in Facebook talking about it. It was the industry people that I respect going, yeah, it disappointed me, or I didn't see what I wanted to see. I'm like, and my question was like, okay, I mean, it's your opinion. You can say that, but in the same breath, I want you to tell me what you saw, what you wanted to see that you didn't see that would have impressed you. Like, what were the things that you just said, it's not, I wanted to see this and it's not there. And don't just say VR, okay? Because that's a cop out, because that's not what this is, what it was about. But tell me what the tech was that you were like, that you didn't see, that you're like, yeah, I'm disappointed because it's not this or it's not that. So, and nobody has come out and said that. They just want to come out and say, yeah, I'm disappointed. Well, tell us why you're disappointed.
And you know who hasn't been disappointed? Every single
I know, yeah.
person that's put that thing on their face has been like, oh my God, this is light years better than everything else we have. Me and Alex got to have a conversation on Between Realities on Friday with Ian Hamilton, editor-in-chief at Upload VR, who actually got to do the demo. And that was great. I mean, the guy has demoed literally every headset that ever has been. And he was like, wow, this is like, whew,
And
so
it's
just
the
wild.
best technology demo he's ever done in his life.
That's crazy.
Pretty wild.
He demoed one of the headsets from Brandon Arieb, one of the original Oculus headsets.
Yeah, in 2012. Yeah, he's done them all, man. And then the people that say, well, we have stuff that does this already. Well, of course. And I bet those people all have Palm Pilots because, that's Palm Pilot did it before Android, before iPhone, right? So I guess that's what we're doing.
$4.99 super chat from our buddy Samson 143 saying happy Monday, everyone. Much love to my favorite VR pod and hello to all my VR fam. Wow.
Oh, Samson.
Great to see you.
Thank you very much.
And it ain't just Samson. Also classy grandma rolling up in here.
Woo,
Yep, that's
classy.
right. She's super classy. And she says, no show with you guys is a poop show. So thank you, I think. She says, hey, and whoop, whoop. We love you all. Thank you, classy. We will not do the poop show. And finally, Snow Toad doing what he does
Wow.
best, dropping 5 VR CruCast memberships into the chat. Bradley doing what he does best and soaking up one of them. So
Dare
thank
you.
you guys
How
so
dare you
much.
not be a
Not my fault.
channel member already,
contributions.
Trash?
I don't know why this happens. I really don't.
Oh, thank you ever so much, everyone. That's insane. Thank you. And I'm really, really pleased that the poop show comment come out. That's fantastic. That is so good. Thank you guys. Appreciate it. Let's do some introductions. First up, we got sadly it's Bradley. How you doing, dude? You good?
Good. Yeah. I don't know what to say. It's been. I finally calmed down because we were just talking about. It was just crazy. I feel like the whole last week was like a daze period. I was just kind of dazed that thing actually happened, and it wasn't like. Oh, it was a weird week, but I'm back to normal, and I'm back to being me. Unfortunately.
Which is not weird at all. Next up, we've got Alex Escape from Between Realities. How you doing, boys?
Hello.
Very good. What's up?
Yeah.
How's it going? We're doing great.
Dude,
VR is kicking off. Things are exploding. Everything is amazing. Games, headsets, everything. Love it.
it's going mental, isn't it? And we're going to talk about the Uploader Summer Showcase in a minute. But your viewership on your last episode was really good, wasn't it? Like, that was awesome.
Yeah, it was pretty good. Thank you for noticing. You know, we have a pretty nice little niche over there on our show. You know, we're not like the hugest show in the world. And when we see like concurrent viewers reach kind of like what we're seeing here right now, you know, like in the 80s and stuff like that, it's pretty amazing. You know, that's I don't think that was in any small part. Well, I don't know how to say what I'm trying to say now. Ian helped is what I'm trying to say. Like,
Yeah.
I think having him come onto the show, you know, being in the flesh and blood, because Ian does his own podcast, the VR Download on Upload VR. But he always does it as an avatar from within their virtual studio. So you never get to like look him in the eyes, you know?
Yeah, I find
So-
that a double-edged sword. That I think the presentation's nice. I think it also means so. Oh wow, they're like first time you see it, I think you can be a bit wowed by it. You're like, oh dude, like these people are in VR talking about VR. It makes sense. But yeah, I agree. Especially actually what highlighted it was what's his John Carmack's Oculus presentation he did as an avatar. I literally hang off every word that guy normally says. I was bored within minutes. It was honestly like a soulless thing to watch, and it was weird because I was sitting there thinking I know this guy, like I really love everything he says, but today I can't watch this. Like, I don't know if anyone else felt the same. So, but anyway, you were saying that he was on your show in the flesh.
Yeah. And I think, you know, people wanted to tune in, you know, maybe take a peek behind the curtain there. And then, of course, all the hype at the Apple headset, like,
Yeah,
I can count on one hand how many people I know that have tried that thing. So to be able to get kind of that like exclusive download of information,
yeah.
he did a really good job of like really walking us through his whole demo experience. And I felt like I was there right alongside of him as he was kind of explaining the whole thing. So yeah, we got the inside scoop on the headset, and you know, just makes us even more excited for this.
Yeah, go back there and check it out if you haven't watched that episode. It was really, really good. And yeah, go clicky.
That's what it's all about. And hopefully, yeah, like shows like this and each other, like everyone can grow from stuff like this, you know.
Absolutely.
Collaboration should normally breathe life into stuff, you know, and grow everyone, which is awesome. Next up, we got Eric Masher from Q2C Gamer. How you doing, dude?
What's going on, guys? How we doing today?
I wonder what
You
he's
don't-
going to pull out the side of the screen then, because it looked like you.
No, just my hand. But I know I do. You know, I want to say something because there's very rarely I get things that get me to the point where I think about shedding a tear, and I'm being serious. But for a kid who grew up in the 70s to get something from a company that says this on it,
Atari. Yeah.
cover up my address. But you-
Too late.
But
Too
then you
late.
get, but then I'm lucky enough I get 2 of them
Oh, bro.
What?
with a different
What'd you
label.
get to
You,
him?
you think you're better than me?
Yeah, I only got one.
Idaho. Oh, Idaho.
It sounds
I'm not
so
pushing the
it
button.
sounds so silly, but I don't know, just getting something like Atari was the first gaming system I ever had, and that was when there was no gaming. Gaming was board games. You know, video games started with Atari, pretty much home video games. So and it was such a big part of my life So for me to get something from Atari and then get something inside that says, thank you for covering this and being here for this, that means a big deal to somebody like me. And I don't know if there's many people out there like a lot of you guys probably had one too, but I don't know. For me, it just means something super special to be part of that game. And look at that. Look at Skiba.
Yeah, you got to show it. You got to show. So can you show what you've got, Mash? Because maybe not everyone knows. This is like a press thing for Pixel Ripped 1978.
Yeah, so actually I did get 2 of them. I think it was a mistake. I got 2 of them. But yeah, I'm gonna keep this one in the plastic because I'm gonna give this away to my community. Because I got 2 of them.
That would be a pretty sick thing to win
Yeah.
in a giveaway.
Right?
Yep, I'm gonna give it away. Anna's coming into my show, not this Thursday, but next Thursday. I'm gonna give one
There
of these
it
away to
is.
somebody.
That is
There
a
it is.
cartridge from the
Yeah.
Atari 2600 gaming console,
Yeah.
printed with Pixel Ripped
Where's mine?
1978.
It's so cool.
Super sick.
I wish it worked.
I know, bro. I know.
If it was a
They
real
could've.
cartridge that
They
you could play
should've.
it on your, I mean, that would be sick.
There she is.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's gonna go on my. This bit is so cool. So, Skeevy, you had your whole actual console there. Did you have it in the
That's
console?
awesome.
Yep.
Is it? And it fits in like perfectly. I just
Yeah.
want it to work.
That's
It
made
does.
of wood. Like, what is it? Walnut or something?
No, there's
No, it's just like-
there's wood. There's a wood like grain thing on it, but it's not actual wood, right? It was made because like back then they were like, well, how do we get people to put this in with their stuff, right? It's got to like look like it's part of
Furniture or something.
the furniture and the big huge CRT TV. Like this doesn't have like HDMI or anything. Like you got to screw this onto an antenna,
What?
right?
What does that even mean? That's cool.
Oh man.
Can it do 480p? What is the output resolution of that stuff? Yeah, I don't
That's
know.
a good question.
It's like
Like
360. I think TVs with 360.
No, it's like 240 or something.
Is
like
it?
that, right?
Mm.
Crazy.
Mhm.
Damn, bro. I still remember actually going from 720 to 1080. And my uncle had he had a 720p TV which he absolutely loved. And I said to him, dude, you got to see 1080p. I think it was the original Gears of War around that time. And he was like, no, I don't need to see it, man. I love what I got. I went, no, you need to see this. And he come round and he was jawed. Like, he couldn't believe it. But now I find it hard to see the difference between those. I don't know. Your eyes just get used to stuff, don't they? I think.
That's true. That's true. They adjust. It doesn't matter what you're looking at. It all kind of achieves the same baseline in your mind.
Well,
Yeah.
and that's why we're into VR now, right? Because we used to look at these clear pictures going, wow, it looks so lifelike. Then we put a headset on and we're like, we're here.
Yeah. Yeah. And you can do that with retro games as well, like with 3D Send VR. You can
Yeah.
re-explore NES games
Yeah, that's
in
cool.
like
That's
a
a lot of
pixel
fun.
art, a pixel art form. It's incredible. Like, it's so incredible to be inside those games. I'd definitely recommend anyone who's into retro getting into virtual reality in general. I think
How is
It-
that not on the Quest? Where is 3D Send on the
it's
Quest?
probably
Really?
probably
Yeah.
well, I don't know. I mean, they haven't sold any retro stuff, have they, on the actual official store? You have to get it via App Lab and SideQuest.
Mhm. Yeah,
It's got to
bring it
play
on
Pixel
SideQuest.
Ripped. That's
Mhm.
what you got to do.
Yeah,
Then
Pixel
you're
Ripped
there.
is your option.
yeah. I think he said to me it was a very tough process. Like, I'm assuming you can put emulators on there, but he has to, I guess, do some sort of engineering on every game. It won't work
Yeah.
otherwise.
Yeah, he has to upload 3D sprites for the games.
It's really
Oh.
special. It's really special. Next up, last but not least, is Wes and Roots from Virtual Strangers. How you doing, lads?
Good, man. It's Monday. We're trying to get a grip on it all, and
You know.
good.
I'm
Nice.
just waiting for it to stop raining. It's just been raining in this fucking state.
You look so
Alex
happy.
and Steva and Mash know it's been raining for weeks. It's nonstop raining. So I brought the rain with me and here for you guys. And I just want my horse. Alex, did you get your horse yet? Because I have not finished Act 3
Don't
yet.
talk to me about Diablo 4, bro.
Have you been
Haven't-
playing it?
No, I've been having some issues. Like once I got it working, because I do game share with a homie, so like it took me a
Okay.
minute to like get things going. And then once I finally did, I am rubber banding all over the damn place. Like I can't run out of town because I'm rubber
Really?
banding back into that bitch. So either I need to like update my Wi-Fi or just endure it for a minute until that stops being an issue. I'm not exactly sure what the problem is, but like past couple times I've tried to play it, it's just been frustrating. So I just fucking hang it up and walk away.
Yeah, I can't believe how good that story is. But
Yeah.
yeah, I'm sure you'll figure it out.
I love. Do you know this guy? He's like, Alex, I'm so sorry, but this game is amazing.
It's just amazing.
I don't want to make you feel
dude.
bad, but
Yeah.
But
You know, I've been a little busy lately. I'll find some time to get in there and Pixel Ripped and 100 other VR games and every other game in the world and finish Tears of the Kingdom. And yeah, you know, we live
too
hard
much.
lives.
My son, my son basically avoided doing any really of the creative stuff in Tears of the Kingdom. He just played the game as a standard game. And we've been watching some videos online, dude. Like the things people make are
It's
insane.
ridiculous.
Video Game Donkey done a really funny video, as usual. But yeah, I thought you would have finished that first though before moving on, because personally, I really struggle. I know myself, if I play something else while playing something else, I tend to just keep moving then. Like,
Yeah. Well, you know, the ball was rolling, dude. And then AWE happens. Go to AWE, like a whole week of all kinds of craziness. And then we go straight from there to the VRML event in Denver. And like, I have no time to play throughout this experience. So, you know, all of a sudden like 9 days go by and I haven't played, and it kind of like breaks that momentum, you know. And then I've just been like busy trying to play catch up and, you know, do my follow-ups for AWE and all of that, you know, trying to get some work done. And
yeah,
it's hard, you know, because games come out all the damn time and they're all worth my time, but I can't play multiple games at once. And that is something that I like dream about in the future. You know, it's like, because right now I can only experience like one piece of content at a time. Like that's all my brain is like capable of doing. But I can foresee a future of human existence where like we have the tools to actually experience more than one thing simultaneously. Like an hour, I could spend 2 hours and play like 3 different games in those 2 hours and like get all 2 hours of each of those games. That would be nice. Maybe one day.
here's the way you play Diablo. Here it is. Ready? Tilt 5's in chat. How about we get Diablo 4 on Tilt 5?
Oh my god,
Word.
dude, I would love that.
Absolutely do that.
Word.
I would play it then.
Those
That would be
demos.
sick.
There is a game that is
Yep.
a top-down like adventure
Yeah.
game on Tilt
Yeah,
5. Yeah, I
they do.
played it.
Yeah. What's it called? This war.
Diablo would be
something?
perfect for Tilt 5.
Oh my god, it would be.
Agreed.
Think about all the games you could do. Gauntlet. You could do Gauntlet. And Tilt 5 would be.
Oh my
sick.
god, that would.
I
And,
love
that-
Gauntlet.
and it actually works in person, doesn't it? Like you can actually all see the same. You could play a multiplayer game all looking at the same board.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Dude, do
100%.
you know what I want then? Micro machines. Like,
Yes,
That
that
would be
was so
cool.
like
good.
just like the old rules as well. Like if you hit
Yeah.
the edge of the boundary, you're out, sort of thing, or whatever. That'd be so cool.
You know
give me
what
the
I want?
first. Give me the first 2 Grand Theft Autos. That's what I want.
Oh, they
Yeah,
were top down too.
those
Yeah,
would
you're
be
right.
Perfect.
Yeah, that'd be great. And also, you could even use that like old retro style. You don't need to really necessarily change up the graphics too
Yeah.
much.
Nope. Just leave it
Speaking
as
of
is.
speaking of retro, Parasite 82 Green has dropped a $4.99 in the good old pounds
Oh,
there, saying I really hope that they have an ET Easter egg in Pixel Rip 1978,
Oh,
where you
yeah.
have to dig up an ET cartridge before you can play a little demo of it.
there's a
would be
question,
cool.
Mash. Did you ever play ET?
Sure did.
No
Absolutely.
way.
It was the biggest piece of crap game
I
ever.
thought
Like,
No.
Guess who
I
was
was
it?
gonna say Skiba.
It was terrible.
Yeah.
It was long.
That game
It was-
was really good.
It was
What?
long
Really
and
good.
didn't make
And I
any
will
sense.
tell you,
no,
it
it wasn't
made
good.
it
The
did.
granddads
Here's
are
the
arguing,
thing with
everyone.
Atari games. Here's the thing with Atari
Listen to
games.
me, son.
Atari games where everything. Shut up, Dad. Shut up, Dad. Give me the spotlight for 1 minute, Dad.
Skeever, talk to us. Talk to
Shadow
us.
Dad.
Listen, I've
Yeah,
I've
but-
literally heard like
So, check it
100%.
out.
ET was a terrible game and ended
No.
gaming, I believe, actually.
It almost
I
killed the
think it was
system.
coincidence. I'm going to say it was coincidence because all games to that point, except for very few on Atari, were in the one screen. You were this dot. You had to move the dot over here and do something with these dots, right? Like that was kind of Atari, right? There were a few games like Adventure where you actually went places and you did things and there were multiple screens and you went to multiple places and completed objectives. And ET was like that. You actually had to like go around, find pieces of the phone, piece them together, get your ship to come down and pick you up, all while being hunted by like the FBI. And if they caught you, they would like disassemble your phone.
This
and do
game
all
sounds
stuff.
amazing.
It was really good. Like,
No,
I
it
played
wasn't.
It was really hard. That's the thing. And people didn't know hard games back
That's
then.
what Mash. You weren't good enough, is what he's saying.
Yeah,
That's
no.
right.
Get good.
Yeah, me
Get
and
good, Dad.
5 million
Get
other
good.
people that they went and buried 5,000 copies in the desert because they couldn't figure out where to put them all. Somewhere in the Arizona or Las Vegas desert. I don't know. I think was it Arizona, Skiba? They buried him in the
can't
desert
remember.
somewhere.
If
Or
it's
in
in Arizona,
Mexico
we
or
should find them
something.
in Arizona sunshine.
Oh my
let's
God,
go.
I would-
Let's go dig them
Well,
up.
if
I
if
would
it's
worth
Arizona,
something.
they're all melted into little,
Oh,
pools of plastic.
It would
'cause
be
it's
the best
300
piece of
degrees there.
artwork ever, though. A big melted pile of
Wouldn't
BP
that be
cartridges.
cool? Oh,
That's
I loved
crazy.
that game.
I wanna
I'm sorry,
say-
I'm like maybe one of the only. But
Welcome
I
to
loved it.
everyone in chat, dude. Like, we've gone over 100 now. Thank you ever so much for everyone being here. Respect. And I wonder if they're all used to it. I think we've now done at least 7 shows. I think in a row. I think I could be wrong.
Has it really been 7?
I think
Wow.
I thought so.
Sounds like a lot.
It does sound like a lot. It does sound like
We've
a lot.
actually done a lot of shows, just not in a row.
Yes.
True.
Quite a few, like multiple seasons.
Yeah,
You
I mean,
guys are
literally,
jet
I didn't know how
setters.
long this was going to last, to be honest with you. Like, when we started this, I'm like, oh, I wonder if this goes a couple episodes and we all have a good time, it'd be fun. But man, I
Yeah.
think we're here to stay now, right? I mean, this is good shit.
I find it very, very therapeutic.
Yeah, I mean, I've turned this into a normal Monday routine. You know, like every Monday, I'm waiting for this thing to happen. You know, so
Yeah.
I'd say as long as people are enjoying it, I know I'm enjoying it, so it's definitely worth the time.
Yeah.
My
Like
thought
getting
is I get a
7
day off or half a day every Monday. I get off early, so I think it's good. I like it.
Getting 7 people to do the same thing at the same time every week. That's hard.
Yeah.
Good job,
Yeah.
Do
GT.
that.
Yeah.
Seriously, how did you figure that? You're like a mastermind. Look at you.
Me?
Classy grandma with the $5 super chat saying,
Again?
"Do you guys ever feel?" I know. Again, that's 25 total from
Thank
Classy
you.
grandma just this episode.
These are the new
She-
school dollars, not the old pounds. The new
Yeah,
school
no,
dollars.
this is real money.
Yeah.
We're not playing with that Monopoly money.
What? Not that Monopoly crap that we've got.
Yeah, this is real money. You ever see a
Jeez.
cartoon character with pound signs for eyeballs?
Pounds.
No, it doesn't work like that.
Okay.
So
Thanks.
anyway, Classic
Thanks,
Grandma
everyone.
says, "Do you guys ever feel like you're just checking out games now and not really enjoying them?" I'm curious. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
That's
Yeah.
yeah.
100%.
Sometimes, but we take a bit of a different approach by not trying to cover every game. I mean, we get a lot of keys that we just don't cover, because we try to typically just cover what we want. So every now and then, we'll start a game and it might not be the best. And yeah, in that situation, we'll play a little bit more because we kind of feel like we have to. But for the most part, we cover what we want to play. And I'm like Alex. My problem is that I like to finish games, and it just seems like I don't ever get time to do that anymore.
That's the beauty of that's why I took on reviewing, because it really pushed me to keep going. Because I mean, even though it doesn't always return views, like I'd rather put out a video that I could maybe look back on months later and be still proud of than making like a 40-minute impressions video and then loads of people buying it and then finding out actually after the first 20% of the game it's not good. You know, I'd rather. So yeah, I mean, I've been caught out a couple of times, as in Hello Neighbor. I still haven't finished that, unfortunately. So I made a first, but I tell people it's a first impressions, basically. But yeah, that's the blessing and the curse of reviewing. Like Killer Frequency on Quest, which is a game that no one seems to be talking about. I should have not liked that game. It had no smooth turning. It was very clunky. But I just found myself like playing it for the story, being a radio DJ. You got all these people ringing in who are getting killed, and you got to stop them being killed, and you got to go around the studio finding bits to help these people. And what happens is the police have to leave town for some reason, and then all the 911 calls, 999 in the UK, which is stupid. 911 makes much more sense. You can do 911 here as well. They have to call into the studio. And you get all the police phone calls through the night, and it's awesome.
That sounds completely plausible. By the way, I could see this happening somewhere.
In real
Yeah, all
life.
the police take a vacation. They're like, we're out.
We're out.
We're
The
out.
local radio station's taking over, folks. We're out.
Yeah.
City's on
Daddy
your
Mash
hands,
is going to
man.
watch over us.
Yeah.
We're all gone.
He'd be
Papa
like-
Mash.
Anyway, it was good. It was good. That's all I'm saying. I actually enjoyed it.
Nice.
I thought it was fun.
That sounds cool.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
Brad,
check
do
it out
people
now,
ever
'cause
send
I
you
thought this
keys?
was gonna be bad.
Brad, do you ever like get keys and just like, yeah, screw it, I'll put this on and I'll check it out?
I get keys once in a while, but not really that often. I don't really like just talk about gaming. Like I know it's kind of like well known at this point that like I don't spend too much of my time gaming in VR these days. And out of curiosity, I was kind of like watching some of the recent game showcases, and I'm like, man, I kind of every showcase is like all CGI footage. How can I get into any of these games these days? You know, it's like
literally
you've
you've just steered me into today's Assassin's Creed trailer. So who saw that, and what were your thoughts?
The trailer looked awesome. I mean, the trailer looked awesome.
One at a time.
CGI looks great. I mean, I don't know. I do get hyped up for these CGI trailers too. I mean, I know everybody wants to see gameplay footage, but I don't know. They do get me hyped up. But we've waited so long for this game. You figured you would have seen some. Like, give me a mix. Give me like a couple of screenshots. I don't even need the whole thing to be game. Like, just give me something so I can see what it looks like in one shot, and then go all CGI after that. I'm okay with that. Because I think the CGI trailers can build up hype, but if as long as you show a little bit of gameplay, but them showing no gameplay this long into the production cycle is kind of a cop out.
To know the game's 6 months away, potentially, is just like, why didn't that happen?
What they're doing is they're following basically a set marketing plan that's been long standing in the gaming industry and not in just in VR. And I think what the issue is for us as VR gamers is that recently we've had a lot of announcements, and it's always the first trailer in the sequence is typically a CGI trailer.
Yeah, an announcement trailer is normally CGI.
And we've had a lot of announcement trailers lately. So it seems like they're all CGI, but I'm sure over the next month or two we'll get the gameplay reveals for all of these. You know.
Oh, you're so level-headed, Wes. I was so pissed off. I was I was like watching it, and I was like, "What the hell is this shit? Like, why is this happening?" And not only that, the worst thing is you can give game, like, you've got to be able to say your game does look good, because that CGI trailer is ammo as well for when they release a game on a standalone device. And it doesn't look anything like that. But fortunately, they did release some screenshots that were taken on a Quest 2, captured with the Quest 2, I've been told, by my friend at Ubisoft. And he said to me that the game looks awesome for Quest. Like, it looks really good. And they thought there was going to be an announcement on the show. And it wasn't. Like, and the reason they thought it is because there was like a half-hour chat between like one of the lead guys in the production, but that just ended up being on Ubisoft's website. So, and the problem with that is an Ubisoft interview on an Ubisoft website doesn't really go anywhere. Like, that's just extra like marketing, isn't it? Internal almost. Like, is it any good? Yeah, it's really good. But like, yeah, we know it is. Yeah. So, yeah. But anyway.
Artful saying that he said the developers are saying that there was gameplay footage in there. I didn't see anything in there.
There is no gameplay footage
anywhere near like gameplay footage. He said a developer from Ubisoft came out and said there was gameplay.
No,
there was 14 different Assassin's Creed games announced apparently.
14?
I mean, there was 3. I think there was 3.
I've only played 3
games. It was 3 new ones with the VR and then 2 others. So I mean, maybe they got confused because I watched the entire trailer and I didn't see any gameplay footage at all. Anything that looked even close to gameplay. If that's gameplay, I'm all in.
Yeah, that's crazy, right?
Take my money.
Boy Brown is kind of right, in some way. RE4, I think, was timed in with the Quest 2 pretty well. For the release, and they did do a CGI trailer. They did one where the guy was playing on the couch, and I think it was actually an Oculus Japan CGI trailer, and it was probably one of the best VR trailers I've actually ever seen. And I know it was CGI, but it didn't matter because you are quite right, we'd already seen the gameplay, so we already knew that it was going to look awesome, and the CGI trailer was just outrageously fun, you know. But yeah, like today, I think what really made it worse was the fact that Meta had even said, like, oh, here's a still image and tune in on June the 12th for the full reveal. That's what it said, full reveal. And that's kind of when everyone goes, oh, okay, fair enough. Like, we're very disappointed we didn't see it here, but we know in about a week we're going to see something. And then you get that. Like, and the guy even like it just sort of like got going. I thought, oh, dude, he's going to keep talking about it. He talked about Nexus just to say, yeah, it's coming later this year. And then he started talking about a mobile game. And I was like, oh, man. That was, that really annoyed me personally. But
I thought it was interesting because the trailer looked really cool. It wasn't gameplay, but the thing is, if it kind of implies they're going to make it like that. But if you watch the trailer, that would be some of the most motion sick inducing gameplay that you'd ever experience doing what was happening in that trailer. So I feel like they didn't give it to us straight at all. There's no way this is going to be even close to what this game is like. And I'm really dying to know what it's like, because this game is all about like running on rooftops, doing parkour, like sneaking up and whacking people, right? I mean, I'm stoked for this game, but like,
yeah,
they give us nothing, and that's kind of a bummer. You know, it's kind of the same with Attack on Titan and Behemoth, and you know, this is becoming a common thing, and it's like, well, why are you even bothering?
The thing is, I didn't mind it about Behemoth, because like Wes was saying, or we was discussing, that's an announcement trailer.
Yeah,
you don't know it exists. Yeah, and you're like, oh shit, like this is a game I'm now going to follow and be interested in. But we've known about Assassin's Creed for a year and a half, I would say, and then they had
longer than that, I think.
Yeah, I'm not sure, but that's what I'm saying. That they even said today, I think on the Quest YouTube channel, it even says announcement trailer, which is, I think it does. I'm sure it says something like that. And I was a bit like, where did I see it? It might have been actually on Ubisoft's own website. It says announcement trailer, but it's a game that's already announced. So I think that's a very strange.
Well, I think the approach that they're taking about it, because really the only official word that we ever had on this title was a couple of years ago, when they said that there are games coming from the Splinter Cell and Assassin's Creed universes. They never officially announced the title of the game or anything like that. I think this is kind of that announcement.
It does say announcement trailer. Yeah, maybe you're right, dude. Maybe you're right. MetaQuest 2 and 3. Someone wrote something really interesting. Paul Friedman says, also, will PC VR games look better on Quest 3? My reply is, I don't know how many more PC VR games we're going to get. The way it's going.
Well, what about the existing ones? That's probably what they're saying. What he's meaning. Like when you hook it up to the Quest 3 up. I mean, obviously it's got more resolution, so it should look better.
It probably will. Yeah.
We were talking.
I use my Quest Pro over my Quest 2, and I really love how that looks.
Me too. We were talking about this on Virtual Strangers last night, and one of the things that we were talking about is, if you're going to have, PlayStation, doing a lot of the same games now as Meta, do you think it would make sense for Meta to start doing more cross-buy games and offering basically 2 copies of the game for the price of 1? Because a lot of times, if I'm looking to see where I'm going to purchase, whether it be Steam or whether it be Meta, or even whether it be PlayStation VR 2, maybe not so much there just because they are so different. But it would give you a thought of, look, I'm going to get I have PC, but I like standalone, but I'm going to get 2 copies basically for 1 price because it's cross-buy. That would make me think about buying from Meta more than, say, PlayStation or Steam.
Yeah,
so
I agree, because a lot of people like wait for PSVR 2 versions of games at the moment because they want that high fidelity graphics. Even though we don't know how good Quest 3 is going to be, that makes complete sense. But I think, wouldn't that be more down to the developers to support that than Meta or PlayStation?
Yeah, no, I think Meta could definitely ask for it. Like we were talking about it, like we deal with a lot of developers now, and I can tell you that they can make a Steam game pretty damn quickly. Like I know some developers actually will make Steam games just for creators. Like they will never release the game publicly on Steam, but they make a Steam version so creators can go in or make live, do live versions of it in Steam so creators can use it. So for them to actually make it is not that big of a stretch, and it's not that big of a push for them to make it. So I would push it if I was Meta. I would ask them. I would tell them that they need to start making Rift versions.
Yeah, like,
and change the name.
Where are Quest games made? On the PC.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah.
So, I'm not saying it's easy because there's a million trillion different hardware combinations that devs have to deal with. And then there's a lot of troubleshooting and bugs, that they have to fix afterwards. But I'm just saying, like, the base foundation is there already because it's developed on PC to begin with. So
Parasite 82 Green with another super chat
Yeah.
there for us. It's $4.99 in the classic denomination of pounds, saying, "Love the tornado section of the Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024 yesterday. That's going to be nuts in VR. The closest thing I can get to storm chasing in the UK." That
I did
sounds
not
lovely.
see that. Was there a trailer yesterday?
I didn't see. No,
neither.
but thanks for letting us know.
Wow.
And then to be followed up by Rezol VR
This is
gifting
insane.
20 the VR CruCast memberships.
Dude.
20.
And I think Bradley got another one. How can he?
Brad,
be-
dude,
Brad
Brad,
just
That's
sucking them all
unfair,
up,
Brad. I
dude.
want one, Brad.
I
No,
want
that's
one.
it's a lie. You're lying.
Dare
Stop.
you?
He got two. Bless him.
Oh man.
So many good. Thank you ever so much, guys. And Rezel, thank you ever so much. Like, that's insane. And thank you to
I really
everyone who
appreciate that.
supports the show. I really appreciate it. Thank you very, very, very much.
GT's going to use this money to buy us all of our CruCast color coordinated t-shirts.
We
he
have got all
promised us.
our own colours, haven't we?
Nice.
Oh yeah.
We
Yeah.
have
Do
got all
that?
our own colours. I can't remember what they are now. It's in the launch lineup because
I
Beardo
remember
was-
mine.
Beardo was with us, wasn't he? And he was a purple, I think.
Mhm.
Or was he a black? I don't know. What was yours, Alex?
I was orange.
Oh,
I was white.
That's right. Yeah.
I have no
It's a
idea.
YouTube short because I used some music from a animation years ago.
It was fun. It was funny. It was good.
I thought it was funny. I remember when I launched that. I think I was at Gamescom, and I remember watching it, thinking I made it, and I thought that's really cool. I was like, this is so cool. So we're going to jump onto Brad quickly because he released.
You know who else wants to jump on the Brad?
No, no.
Yeah, she does.
Yeah, she does.
Yeah, she does.
Roots, if you don't keep saying that afterwards, you're going to have that as a sound bite. Yeah.
That's what I would just do.
Yeah,
that.
she
Just do a
does.
soundbite right after.
Yeah, she does.
No,
Yes.
it feels good to say that after.
He's,
like,
but he's not doing it. He's not. I have to-
Well, I did, and sometimes I switch it up. Like sometimes you just gotta go with the flow, right?
it doesn't feel right to
She's-
say it today.
She's crazy, dude. She gets kind of kinky sometimes. Oh no, we're on a family show. Stop.
Yes. Anyway, so Bradley, you released a video this week that made some people not very happy. Talk to us about it. What happened?
Yeah, I did a video about the Pimax Crystal. It originally was going to be a video talk. Okay, so let me give the background in case you haven't watched it. So I was really doing my best, honestly, not to cover Pimax stuff anymore. Usually covering Pimax gives me a level of stress that I usually don't like to deal with working this channel.
In what way?
But-
In what way? In what way is it stressful?
Well, I'm a very honest reviewer, I feel, or maybe a very harsh reviewer.
It's a
depending on
blessing.
how
It's
you
a
look
blessing,
at it.
not a curse, man. But yeah.
Yeah, I'm usually pretty harsh on every hardware in different ways, and
It's not harsh. It's not hard. That's everyone else making you feel that way. It's not
Yeah.
harsh. It's honest. Okay.
yeah.
Right.
Anyway, yeah. So I wasn't gonna cover the Pimax Crystal relaunch, even though people kept asking me, and like every time I stream, like, "Hey, are you gonna buy the Crystal to review it and stuff?" And I'm like, "No, I really don't want to. It's not on my radar." But eventually, I started getting a lot of emails from viewers, and mostly pissed off viewers that bought their own Crystal, and they were like, "This launch that they did is the worst they've ever done. I've got crappy optics that need to be replaced. I got crappy wire that needs to be replaced. I got issues
Oh, build
software."
quality. Build quality was bad.
So there's like a lottery of stuff. Like some people are getting, like, there's a glass lens and a plastic lens, and if you have the plastic lens, everything looks like garbage. And if you have a glass lens, things look a lot better.
You might need to
but-
describe to me something, this headset in general, then, because I've heard the name, but I avoid. Yeah, I do avoid Pimax. So yeah, could
Yeah.
you tell us about it? I was trying to think of a way to say it, but
So they're the biggest, yeah, it's one of their reality series, I think they call it, their VR 3.0, and
cool names.
very cool names. Yep. It's a large headset.
surprisingly.
Yeah, large headset. The idea was for Chris. Originally, they announced the 12K, which was their very standard
12K.
The 12K, which it's their standard design where they would have two very wide panels and have like a very extra wide FOV, because that's the Pimax thing, right?
Yeah.
Well, that headset is not coming out anytime soon, so they
But Brad, it's supposed to launch end of 2022. You're telling me they're lying to me? Get out of here. Stop it.
Yep. Anyway, Crystal. So they announced the Crystal in like a future Pimax show. And they're like, hey, we're gonna release this thing first. And it doesn't have the wide FOV that people are known for, but the big thing that they're really pushing for this new series is standalone capabilities and eye tracking. Well, currently, if you bought the device and you receive it, it has neither of those things right now. They just don't work. And due to the fact they kind of designed this, I would say mostly PC VR focused enthusiast headset with this standalone features, you have to do stuff like, even if you plug it into your PC for DisplayPort, you still have to have the battery charged. And there was just all these myriad of issues that people were emailing me about and kind of making my emails go annoying. So it's like, fine, I'll make a video like not reviewing the unit, but like warning people that, hey, Pimax is still Pimax. You need, if you are wanting a Pimax Crystal, you should know that this company is still has trouble with launches. Like you're not buying a product that works exactly as advertised day one. You have to be expecting that it might improve over undefined amount of months. So that was the plan. So I put out a tweet saying, hey, if you also, because I wanted more sample size on my viewers, like, hey, if you buy a Crystal, please email me so I get more sample size for what's going on. And eventually I got an email from a viewer who I found out actually lives 10 minutes away from me. So I was able to drive over. They let me drive over and let me borrow their Crystal to check it out myself to see like everything that people are talking about. And so it turned from this informational video about the Crystal's poor launch to like, hey, well, I have a headset here. It's not controlled, because the problem with CES and like all these other things that, not just for Pimax, any company, you have to think of these like trade shows are kind of like magic shows where they're so controlled, and you don't have like they can do what they can show you only the things that look good in the headset. You can't see things that look bad. You can't get benchmarks. You can't measure FOVs really. So I do like doing full reviews at home, and I was just very brutally honest about how I felt about the Crystal. That it's just like it doesn't feel like a finished product. If any other company, Meta, Apple, Valve, did a huge showcase announcing all of these amazing features, and then they launched with something with like less than 40% of the features on day one with some issues, people would go crazy.
So who is promoting this? Because their socials aren't great. Their recent trailers have improved. But aside from that, like, where is this stuff coming from? Because if anyone ever asked me about a Pimax, I would go, dude, don't get it. Like, don't do that. I don't think it's worth it. And the day I find out it is, then I'll let you know. But as far as I know, like, the best thing to do is avoid, as far as I know.
Yeah, I mean, like, I don't know. Like, I like, Pimax should be something I like, because I'm like very enthusiast PCR focused, but there's always been problems that even I just don't want to deal with. But I do think the one thing that they've kind of grown a cult following over the years is like the simmer, like the PC VR simmer community. And you know, they're fine with wearing 1.2 kilogram headsets on their head and like,
wow,
bro, that photo that you shared of the side by side, he shared on Twitter, Brad did, a photo of himself wearing the Pimax Crystal, and then right next to it, a photo of himself wearing the big screen beyond. And it is like staggering.
I know, but
staggering.
The big screen beyond is, to be fair, an extreme case of really.
But is it though? Is it
but
though?
It exists.
I know, but
it's extreme. Look at the Apple headset, which we think is probably the higher end of headset is three times as big as that big screen Beyond.
Yeah.
I did put on the index. I didn't post this version on Twitter, but there's another version in my Discord where I did the Beyond, the index, and the Pimax, and even next to the index, the Pimax looks huge on my forehead. Like it's large, but
I'd like to see the index one because I know that. I do know the scale.
yeah, I can get that.
You want to see? I have them both right here.
Oh, I
Do
know the picture you spoke about because I said is either Brad's got bigger.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, I want to see that now. I'll see if I can share it on
The
it.
question is,
Yeah,
like, how
can
much
you show
bigger is it than the Quest Pro? I mean, it's huge compared to the Quest Pro.
The Pimax Crystal.
Yeah, Pimax
Well,
Crystal. It's
at
huge.
any Pimax headset, they're
Yeah.
all fucking huge.
Yeah, they're big. They're big.
Brad, what's your
Yeah.
name on here now? What you changed it to now?
Sadly,
Is he still
It's
sadly though?
Bradley.
He changed it a little while ago, didn't he?
I think it should be. Sadly, it's Bradley still.
or is it Bradley?
Oh, look at his
Lynch?
little dog.
got a little
Oh,
dog.
I feel I need to share this. Oh, he's so cute.
That's Peanut.
Peanut. Yep.
Peanut. Hold on. Why has that not worked? That's weird.
This headset's
Hold on.
huge, by the way. I don't
It
think it's
is so
much smaller than
large.
the AKX, to be honest with you. I think the AKX is
There we go.
probably about the right size. The
Oh,
same
look
size.
at Peanut.
And this is the one issue I have with it is like it doesn't need to be that large. Like
No, because the lenses are small. It's not like it used to be with a 200-degree field of view. The
exactly.
lenses are so much smaller now.
There's Peanut
look at-
sniffing a flower.
Like, look how much
Oh.
wasted space is over here on the sides. Like, I don't get it,
Yeah.
Brad. What do they? What,
Oh,
what
they-
is over here that they have to have that so wide right there?
It's empty space, most of it. Like it's clearly they had like they're taking the shell from what we're designing for 12K and they put smaller lens cups in there. And the FOV is smaller than the index. So I don't know. It's a weird headset for my brain.
It doesn't seem a lot heavier to me though than the
Wow.
index.
It is.
Is it the front that makes me feel heavier? I
The
don't know.
index is like 800 grams.
How does
maybe.
it? I mean, it looks like he's got the same speakers as the index, like on the side.
They're very similar. I think the speakers. They're not as good for sure, but they
Do you know what that
similar.
looks like?
They look
It-
exactly
it-
the same.
The Pimax is weird because I remember the first time I saw Pimax and I thought how futuristic it kind of looked, but now I look at it, it kind of looks like, you know, when like I don't know, you watch an old film from the 90s or the 80s and they're like the year was 2010
Mhm.
in VR. Do you know what I mean? And they sort of like made it up. That's
The
what
fu-
you know.
The future is big screen and smaller. In
Oh,
my
absolutely.
opinion. It's not the huge
yeah,
thing.
smaller
So
than
that's
that.
I think the big screen is actually a viable example. It exists.
It is,
and
it
it's
is,
it,
it
and
is.
people are buying it.
If it had inside
And
out
so-
tracking, I would probably invest in one. It's only because I haven't got
Yeah.
base stations and all that stuff, and I don't want to go that way. Personally, I don't want to go there.
It's still such a big barrier, isn't it? Having these headsets continually coming out for external tracking, and for me, it's not even about setting them up and having them in my room. I just don't have them, and they're pretty expensive thing to pick up just so that I might have access to whatever the next PC headset is.
Now would be the time to do it though. You have all those index sales, right? And it comes with they're relatively cheap and you can get the those stations as well. The next
Yeah.
headset. So
Yeah, it's tough because I still go to my index because of the tracking, and the only thing I think that will get me away from that is like a Quest Pro style controller where the controller is tracked
yes.
by itself and the headset isn't looking at it, because they still have issues with headsets that the headset is tracking the controllers, right? So I mean, it's
Brad,
it's a pain, but it's like,
Have you checked this one, Brad? Like I have it right here, but I just took it out of the box Saturday night. I haven't even plugged it in yet.
What are we
So
talking about
how,
now?
the crystal. How is the trick? Because this is not tracked by base stations. It's inside out tracking. And how is it?
I used it for a week. That's how long the person actually we I probably wasn't supposed to do this, but I actually let them use my Beyond because him and his roommate were both already pre-orders for the Beyond. In fact, actually I should say both of them actually pre-ordered the crystal and they both got the crystal day one. One of them already sold off their crystal because they just didn't like it. The other one's keeping it.
Is there no refund policy? Is there no like 30-day cool off period?
I don't know. I don't know
Okay.
what's the deal with that, to be
Yeah.
honest. I've never dealt with it. So
Yeah, yeah.
I'm sure it's not the funnest thing. I think I was talking to someone that actually had trouble returning it because they were asking, why do you want to return this thing? But anyway,
Yeah, I bet. Yeah.
yeah. Anyway, no, I did get to use it for a week, and that's why I mean, I gave my impressions of it, and it was just like the tracking is okay. Like you could definitely do simple stuff with the controllers. The head tracking's fine, but like the person that lent it to me, they were like, I'm not going to use this because I'm a Beat Saber player, and it's just not there for the level they like to play it for. So they're waiting for the lighthouse attachment that's going to come out whenever before they even touch the thing. So
Yeah.
There's one more thing I want to add if we're like finishing up on the Crystal. Like I was harsh, but I did kind of look around on the internet, and there was another review from actual simmer focused channel called Boosted Media, and they just released a review yesterday, and they were also like, this headset's just too frustrating. I don't want to use it over like my Vario Aero or whatever. So, and I honestly do think even if you're a simmer, the Beyond is not that far off, like in terms of visuals, than the Crystal. Like it's the biggest thing is it's much dimmer, but everything else is like the resolution feels good, and you're gonna be way more comfortable using it. And obviously you need the lighthouses, but again, I feel most people are in this like VR simmer community. They probably already use a lighthouse headset.
How can Pimax keep doing this? Like that's the one thing that really blows my mind, because they continuously put out headsets. This seems to be the typical response to a Pimax headset. Anybody who knows anything about the space will typically give you the advice to go and buy a Meta device or buy an Index or buy an HTC device. But like Pimax is never the first choice. Like maybe for a few of these simmers, like you're mentioning, but like how is this a sustainable thing? Like can Pimax keep doing this? Like how many more headsets are we going to see?
They have to be subsidized by the government. That's the only thing I can think of. How can you just lose money end over end, year over year?
Yeah, and
Like
I mean,
Vive did the same thing.
How many Pimaxes are actually out there? Like, how many exist? How many times would you buy a headset? Because there's an interesting thing.
I thought similar, but there's a lot of them on Facebook Marketplace, which means there must be a lot of them out there, because I've been looking for like a DK1 and a DK2. If anyone out there has any leads, let me know. But like there's so many Pimaxes on there. I couldn't believe it.
Really?
I think it's like there must be 8 versions of a Pimax.
Well, there's 5K.
There is a lot of them.
It's just a bunch of YouTubers selling all their review units.
Here's the question I want to know, Brad. Go ask that guy, why did he buy a Pimax if he's just looking to play Beat Saber? Like, what are you doing?
I was thinking the same thing.
This guy is one of those people that like buys everything.
Okay.
Like
but I am not going, hey, I'm not going to use this Pimax because I can't play Beat Saber. I mean, go play your Quest. If you're buying everything, go use your Quest and play Beat Saber. If you want to go play,
he wants the
God
best
forbid, you want to go play Kayak
though.
VR, then you go play on your Pimax or your
just
Arrow
think about it. What if you don't even need controllers for the Apple one. That would be the best ultimate Beat Saber experience. Hopefully Meta shares, right?
Ultimate experience and Beat Saber just don't go together, man.
Let's not do this today, Mash.
I think Pimax just like, they're known for like releasing ridiculously crazy concepts for products all the times, and like I think they just kind of trick investors into like people that don't know what VR is. Like the Portal, for example, they're like, oh, we're gonna sell this amazing handheld that's gonna be everything you want out of a handheld and VR. And like, investors who are not really following this tech industry, they're like, oh, that's going to be a game changer. We're going to throw all this money at you. And that's not even a Pimax thing. That's a huge problem that's been happening in this industry for the past few years. So that's where I attribute most of how they survive, honestly.
Plus, it seems like a Ponzi scheme. They're constantly taking money in and then pushing it down the road to the next product, right? And then they take the money from those people and then they push it to the next product. Eventually, it's got to catch up, you would think. I don't know.
Yeah. All right. Listen, enough about Pimax. Okay. Like maybe when they start doing better, we can spend more time talking about it. Okay.
True.
But until then,
we're warning people. How many people did you think about this?
How
many people did Brad save money? I mean, that's really what it's all about. That's why you did the video, right?
That's what I was asking.
The experience.
That's what I was asking. Who out there is not saving these people money? Is there anyone out there saying, do you know what? this is a good headset. That's
Skiva,
that's what I was trying to
gotta
find
hear
out.
it. What do you gotta say?
Reviewers out there who are.
I just want to say, no matter how poopy some of these headsets are, or how some people don't like them, like I am happy that there are companies out there that are trying to do this stuff, that are trying to like give us better field of view and like try to push the envelope a little bit. Now, a lot of these companies aren't able to nail it, but if I went out there, like I know VR. If I went out there and tried to do this, I'd probably fail because I'm not an engineer, but like I'm not making excuses for them. All I'm saying is I'm happy that there's companies out there at least trying.
I was going to say, Skiva, with your heart, you would never deliberately scam people out of money to do
No,
what
never.
they're
Yeah, but
doing.
hold it. Yeah,
So
but
that's the thing.
Nope.
are we saying that then? Like
I'm
not saying
Oh.
I'm not sure Pimax are ever trying to scam people. I just think I think they believe what they're doing is good. That's what I think.
And to
they
be
might not
fair, there
even
are
try
other
anything
reviewers
else.
out there that are saying it's good. Like I don't want to point fingers at anybody, but there are reviewers
it.
out there that are
There
saying
are a reviewer out there.
there's a few.
There's
a few.
There's one.
I mean,
that
go look around.
there is
there's
one that I would
paid?
never listen to, but I've never
You,
heard.
Brad,
of
you know who I'm
reviews.
talking about. There are people out there saying this is a good headset.
Yeah, I mean, there's also people that I talk to that like they love Pimax somehow. I don't get it where they're coming from.
Do they
like,
play anything else though? Do they like ignore everything else because they love it? Like there is that side of it possibly.
I think that's a problem because like for some of these people they think the wide FOV is like the greatest thing on earth, and I get that, but like
It is good.
just like how they think I only target the bad sides of these headsets, they only target the good thing, I feel. So
Yeah.
it's interesting community, I think.
Yeah.
So what about this Meta subscription stuff? A, is it real? B, is it the real deal? If you don't know what I'm talking about, there's a leaked image that popped up on the internet today that appears to reveal a plan for Meta to have a game subscription service for the Quest 2 and I'm assuming the future Quest Pro. It claims to be an $8 a month, if I remember correctly, subscription in which you
$7.99.
will get access to 2 new games a month that you then retain access for as long as you have a subscription to the membership. So A, how much, like how legit is this? I'm guessing personally, probably legit. And B, is that a good deal? Should people think about doing it?
Depends on the games. You know, what kind of bullshit are they going to give me? A bunch of like shovelware. I'll be like, I don't want these 2 games. But if they're like really legit games, even if it's not every single time, I think it's
If they go down
it's almost a no-brainer.
If they go down the Games Pass route of like we're announcing this game and it will be on our subscription service, then that's something to talk about. But if they're just going to try and pull off PlayStation Plus, like where they do good games, obviously, but I don't ever really rush to go and download them because they're stuff.
I add them to my library and forget about it.
Yeah, same. Like I had them there for some weird reason, but
you might want to go back and play them.
I might want to go back and play them, but
that's it.
But yeah, so
but you won't.
You won't.
Wouldn't it be funny if all the titles were App Lab titles?
Yeah, that would be
all of them, all App Lab titles forever.
That would be funny.
I think this is a good start, though. I think this is like where we eventually want to be. Like, if this is the first iteration of what they come up with, like, I ultimately want to see a Viveport type subscription for Meta because they have such a big library. I don't know what the money structure would have to be for that to make it worth it for them and worth it for the developers too. By the way, I mean this isn't just Meta. I mean the developers have to make this money, so to be included with this, there has to be enough clicks and playtime on it for it to make it worth for the developers. So. But I want to see this service. There's enough games out there now. It's tough to do like a year ago or 2 years ago. But now there's so many games out there. You should do some type of Game Pass.
Yeah, and there's enough like Quest 1 titles that were great that aren't selling right now that they could be good for a while. You know, putting games like was it Journey of the Gods or Death Lab, stuff like this that are great games that people just aren't buying anymore because they're so old. I think it's a good idea.
I was just going to say, like, do the PlayStation, Xbox still charge for online play? I know Brady just wrote saying, imagine they start charging it. Yeah, is that
does.
They do. Oh, okay.
Yeah, PlayStation. I don't think Xbox does, do they?
Xbox Live?
That's right. They
Xbox
did.
Live,
They
yeah.
actually did. They
That's how it
started.
started.
Yeah, you're right. I think that was
Start.
you're right.
That's always been a thing from the very beginning.
Xbox Live though was fucking insane. Like,
Well,
when
it used to
first
be.
come about.
Yeah, dude, it used to be so sick.
Oh my
Yeah,
God.
not so much these days. But yeah, I mean, I pay for online access on well, I don't on my Xbox because I never use it, but I pay for my PlayStation and for my Nintendo Switch.
Do you know, I got a PlayStation Premium and I regret it. Like the classics they said they were going to bring and all this other stuff. And I was like, wow, dude, like the PS1's got such an amazing library. So it's PS2. I don't know what's going on with it. There's hardly anything on there really. You know, it's all right, but I thought it would be like the full library or a hell of a percentage. But they keep like dropping them like teasers and stuff, and I just don't see the point. So
Well, and Nintendo, on the other hand, is doing it well. Like
Yeah.
if you buy the like premium online subscription for Nintendo Switch, you get access to emulators of Nintendo 64, Super Nintendo, Game Boy Advance, NES, Super NES, and Sega Genesis.
yeah,
And they all have like pretty legit game selections for all of those emulators. So,
would you guys
I've
do a
used it a lot.
subscription service just to get 2 games a month?
if I wasn't in the position that I'm currently in the
Right.
space, yes. You know,
I would too.
obviously we don't, you know, it's pretty easy for us to obtain keys and
Yeah,
codes
yeah.
to games if we want to. But if I was like not in the position to get games directly from developers, I think this is a no-brainer personally.
Right.
$4.99 or it's $4 for I'm guessing they're going to be random, like somewhat curated, but probably random. For $8 a month, you expand your library by 2 games. So you always have like something new to try for the price of a fucking cup of coffee in Phoenix. You know, like I think it's personally a no-brainer. But you know, you don't
Yeah,
keep
I'm
them
gonna-
forever. So
I'm gonna say the same thing, man. I have always been a fan of game subscription services. Before I started doing this and really getting a lot of keys, you know, I had Viveport Infinity, and it was one of the best values I've ever had. Now, this isn't the same, but I feel like it's a good start. I think Xbox Game Pass has kept Microsoft's gaming service alive, right? I don't think Xbox would have been going if it wasn't for that. And I think a lot of people, I think they need retention in the Quest, and this is a really good way to kind of get that. People will have new titles all the time. It's really cheap. It's $8, right? We spend, like Alex said, you spend $8 on a cup or 2 of coffee, right? So I would definitely, without a doubt, be subscribing to this.
Hey, what's up? Yeah, what's up? All right, I'll be right.
It's it works out just under $5 a game if you've done a year. No worries, Eric. Yeah. So which actually doesn't sound too bad. Like,
And I'm sure the games will be good too. I mean, thinking about it, you're not going to unroll this whole thing to put out a bunch of shit, at least not at the beginning. So
here's my main concern with it, right? Like let's say I pull the plug and I'm like, I'm never making another piece of content for VR again. Screw you guys. And I cancel all my podcasts, and I like no longer am in the position to acquire any of these games that come out. I still have a lot, you know, I have Super Hot. I have, you know, Journey of the Gods. I have like all of these old Quest 1 games and stuff like that. If they are pre-selected and I'm subscribed and I already own that game, then I don't stand to benefit from that, you know? So they either will need to like allow you to choose what games you want to use or half of the people like
that would be a
don't get to-
crazy move if you
to
could
use
pick
it.
2 games a month.
Yeah.
That would be crazy.
They're not going to do that. This is a common thing that you hear from traditional gamers when you hear the way that they talk about PlayStation Plus. Typically, whether or not it's a good month for PlayStation Plus or not is determined by how many people already have the games. And sometimes they knock it out of the park and come up with a good game that didn't sell well. But oftentimes they're giving people games that they've already bought, and people aren't very happy about it. So I think it's going to be a mixed bag here, just like it is there.
Did you guys, randomly flipping it, did you guys get your hands on Undead System?
we did.
Indeed.
We did. Okay, cool. Yeah,
I
I've
did
actually
not,
made a
but I would
video on
like
it.
to. Did I? I might have it. I
You
haven't
should
played it
probably
yet. I
have
don't
it.
think-
You should probably have it. What's your thoughts, Wes, on Undead? I mean, what system did you play it on as well? Because it's coming to all systems, isn't it? No, it's not coming to Quest. It's PC and PlayStation, I believe.
It's PC and PlayStation, and PlayStation's coming TBD at some point. I played on Steam as it just launched on Steam, and I don't know. I was a bit underwhelmed at first. The first couple of levels, first couple of levels were a little easy and repetitive to me. But I found it,
just to be clear, it was always a horde mode, and we were always waiting for the story. So you're talking about the campaign, yeah?
Yep.
yeah. I tried the horde mode in a demo a few months back and thought it was pretty good. And you know, the gameplay in the story mode is very similar to the horde mode. The enemies are just kind of, you know, stretched out over a pretty linear level. Anyway, as the game goes on, after, you know, about level 3 or so, I found it to become significantly more challenging, and I got to the point, you know, by the time I finished level 5, I think it was, that I was generally pretty happy with it. Like I'm having fun with it now, which wasn't exactly the case to start with. So I'm happy with it. It's good. It's beautiful. Graphically, it's a very beautiful game, and I like the weapons physics and stuff. It's pretty good too.
Where does it go? I mean, you go on the opening's fantastic. Kind of like Castlevania, it reminded me of, looking up, seeing the lightning and stuff, and you go through the castle. Where does it go? Like, where does the game take you? Like, do you keep walking around?
He's in a cemetery, right?
That's where that's where I am now. So the object of the game is, you know, you're stranded, you're lost, you're on death's door. You start cursing God, and then a lightning bolt strikes, and you see this citadel in the distance. And basically, you set out for that just so that you can get out of the weather and stay alive. And then as you're making your way through the town, you notice that it's kind of like zombie apocalypse, right? There's undead everywhere, and you're basically
Well, that God wasn't helping him, dude. He sent him there to die.
Right. Exactly. So so basically you start trying to fight your way up to this castle, and you find evidence of like a cult operating in the area, and you think maybe that sort of black magic might have something to do with what's going on. And that's basically the what's driving you as the character, is to make it to the castle, find out what kind of sorcery is going on in there, and strike it down with vengeance.
Sounds cool. Did you because in the horde mode, I think you unlock weapons as you go, and then every time you restart the horde mode, you can then choose the weapons. Does that have any effect in the campaign? Did you just constantly come across different weapons and stuff, or?
Yeah, you do unlock them though. So I think by finding the weapons as you move through the campaign, will unlock them for the horde mode for you.
Okay. Is there any games you guys are looking forward to at the moment?
Pixel Ripped. Sorry. 1978, baby.
Nice. I literally dropped a video on that in a couple of days. It was
that's the one.
ago. Yeah, it was pretty cool.
That's the one. The Upload VR Summer Showcase 2023 is in 2 days.
Yep.
June 14th, starting at 11 a.m. Pacific time. And I don't have a lot of expectations, to be honest. I don't really know what's going to be in there. I mean, I know what I'd like to see, other than unannounced games, which is always the most exciting thing. Like the first time you get the stab, you know, at looking at something, I love that. But I personally would love to see an update trailer for Breachers, maybe that has like new maps, you know, maybe some new weapons or something, but mainly just new maps and functionality for like partying up with people. So maybe an update from Breachers would be really, really awesome. So that's kind of what I'm crossing my fingers to see.
Yeah. I mean, I worry about showcases now, because I think as time's going on, Meta, PlayStation, they can do their own thing when they want. They've got content creators they can use to market. Like, and these showcases were a great way to raise funds. You know, like people would pay to have their trailer seen. But I don't know how that's going to go, because I think the last showcase was very indie based. And then didn't they then last time they release another showcase that highlighted even worse games than the games that everyone said were bad, or something like that? And I remember sitting there watching it, I was thinking, wow, I hope like this goes quick, because it wasn't a good look, you know.
Right.
This one's
That's
gotta
why
be
I said
better.
like an update trailer for a game I like would make me happy at this point. Like that would be like, okay, cool. It's Breachers. Like I can expect that maybe they would be involved in this showcase, giving me an update that I think is necessary, but I really don't expect to see anything that's gonna like blow my mind.
There is
in
one
this
game.
showcase.
I don't actually know of one game. That's it. So
Wow. And
Yeah.
that's it.
there is one game.
There's a
I
game.
personally,
There is one
I
game.
can't
There's
wait.
one.
This is
Fuck
the
off,
only one
Roots.
on there.
Yeah. Well, I hope it lasts the whole 2 hours or however long this thing is going to be.
Yeah.
Because
this is
this will
gonna
not be a
be-
short presentation.
This is gonna be a long one, and I'm really stoked. I am just so into VR still, and I'm so into all these games, and like, even when I'm watching these showcases and I see the chat and everyone's like, "This is stupid. No, I'm not buying it." Like, I'm still sitting there with some popcorn. I'm like super stoked. I'm like, "Oh, sick! What's next?
That's
What's next?" Like, I
beautiful.
can't wait. Like, I just get so excited to see all the things coming. Indie games, AAA games, which we don't get many of. It doesn't even matter. Like, but you're right. We do have all these showcases now, and even studios themselves. Like, we saw Resolution do their own
They did.
showcase, right?
Yeah, that was crazy.
So-
that was a big
Yeah.
thing. Like I did
Yeah.
not expect in VR the way it is as a size now to go, do you know what? Us as a studio are working on so much that we can release our own showcase. I was like,
Yeah.
fucking hell, that's crazy.
But I'm just so excited. I want to know all the games. I want to play them all. I want to find a way someday that all I have to do is just to play games, not review them, not do anything. Just let me play them. That's all I want to do. I just want to play VR games.
That's
I'm stoked.
perfect.
I'm excited.
I like the idea. I'll go in on you with that venture.
Nice.
What makes you wonder
Just
why we
play
become
games.
content creators in the first place? all we wanted to do is play them, and then you spend more time like recording, editing, and talking. But yeah, let's keep this.
Yeah.
Let's keep that going. I was going to say something else as well. There was something else I wanted to talk about. Oh, Synapse. Who has
Yes.
played or wants to talk about Synapse?
One who's so bad. I want to play
One
that game
person's
so
played it.
bad.
Right, yeah, two
I played
people.
it.
So good. Damn,
It
that's
was
good.
awesome. It was awesome. Yeah, I did have the opportunity to play the Synapse demo this past week, and it was awesome, man. I played through it a couple of times, and I feel compelled just to keep doing it, but I don't want to
Ruin it.
because
Yeah.
right, it'll ruin it. They kind of nerfed it for us a little bit as
Mhm.
content creators. They let us kind of progress a little more quickly than the game's going to allow us to. So for that reason, I made myself stop playing it. But it's awesome, right? It's fun.
Oh, it's super fun. It is. I was very lucky to go to End Dreams, and the best bit about it was seeing how everyone played differently. Like, I think I was super fast. Like, I just wanted to kill as many people as quick as possible in the most violent way as possible, and try and get that rank, that S rank, all the time. But there were some people who were like really taking their time. They're dangling people in midair and they're shooting them in the head, and they were almost like being surgeons of killing. And it was really weird. Like, you sort of watching, like, I don't know who the guy was, but he was watching him. I was thinking, this guy's a bit like sadistic. Like, he doesn't want to rush. He doesn't care what rank he gets. He just wants to really enjoy smashing a guy's brain in with whatever he can find and something else he can find. Or whatever, yeah. It's just
That's me. That's
Yeah,
totally
who
gonna me.
doesn't?
I don't
That's
care about the
everybody.
rank.
well, it
I
was
just want to have the powers and like do creative things to kill people, right? Like,
Wow.
come on, what's the
reloaded it.
point?
You can reload as well off like all the physical objects and the people.
Mm.
When they told us that at the show, they were like, "Yeah, we watched someone. They reloaded off someone's head." I was like, "That sounds really cool. I have to try that." So yeah, I dragged someone back to me, and
And you can climb everything. They took that cover mechanic, that grab and hold cover
Yes.
mechanic, and applied it to the whole world. You can grab everything and just throw yourself around.
they never tell you
Oh,
that
that
either.
sounds awesome.
They just
Nope.
like throw you in there like a playground. Yeah, it was really cool, and you are right actually about the nerfing side of things, because even though I was playing it and really enjoying it, I kind of thought, how far is this going to go? Like, how much gameplay is there going to be? Because I
Right.
felt like it's almost like you've played 50% of the game in some way, or whatever. Yeah.
That's the big question going forward now. Is it going to get more difficult? I feel like it needs to. Right? It's fun
Well, there's
to
bosses,
play.
isn't there? There's bosses as well, I think.
Yeah, well,
in the
yeah,
trailer.
there's a couple of boss fights, but the concept here is that you're trying to dig into this bad guy's mind. You're literally the game takes place in the mind of a psychopath.
Yeah.
So as a roguelike that you're taking runs through, and the idea is to force your way into this guy's subconscious, and he knows you're there. He's fighting you actively. That's where all the enemies are coming from. So it stands to reason as you get closer to the end of the game, there should be more resistance, and the very fabric of the level should start to come apart as you kind of burrow into this guy's mind. So I feel like what we played is fun, but it will need to get more difficult, more challenging, and just a lot more chaotic as you get deeper and deeper into the run.
Yeah, I agree. I asked them what is the expected gameplay, and they said I think between 10 and 12 hours.
Yeah, that's what they said.
Which I was like, I can't see that at the moment, but obviously, like you said, these unlocks will be progressively hard to do. Like, you'll have to be doing challenges to get the unlocks to spend, basically, the points to spend.
They said through testing, on average, it takes about 8 hours to complete your first run. And then if you want to unlock everything and do everything, that's about 12.
See, to me, that means 6. I don't know. I'm not saying.
To me, that means 15.
I tend to play games pretty well, and I think a game like that, whatever they quote me, I'm going to be like, I'll knock 2 off it just in case. But yeah, welcome everyone in the chat again. Thank you for joining us. We're nearly finished actually going through the show. What about you guys? Is there anything you want to add? Anything that's happened this week that you think needs to be spoken about?
Well, there was another game I played this week.
What?
I put a few hours into Zombieland Reloaded, Skiva.
Skiva. Oh, do I have to get back in there?
I thought you beat me then.
I love the Skiva. He's all excited.
It's futile. It's futile. Don't even bother.
No. This is happening. This is happening. Let's do this. Why is that game so good? Well,
I don't know, man.
Especially from going from Quest to PC. Why do I feel like the PSVR 2 version is so much better? I've gone back directly after playing the PSVR 2 version and played it on Steam and played it on Quest just to see why I wasn't so obsessed with it previously to PSVR 2. And it just feels so freaking good, and it looks good, and the colors are amazing, and the haptics and the controllers, it is so good. If you have a PSVR 2, go get this game. I'm telling you.
I say it all the time.
So literally, I was only going to go into it for 10 minutes or something.
Not possible.
I was waiting on another game. I was installing another game that is going to be out soon. And I thought, well, while I'm waiting on that to install, I'll go in and I had I think 4 levels left to complete the campaign. I said I'll go knock a couple of those out really quick, and then get back to this other game. I didn't even go back to the other game. I just kept playing, and after I took Skiva down on one leaderboard, we'll go ahead and see what the next one looks like, and then one by one they fell. Skiva.
Oh, let's go! Give me some more reason to get back in there, baby.
Are we all? Can you add me as a friend? I want to be part of this.
Oh, you're on there too. You're on my leaderboard.
Come wipe the floor with us now.
I need to get back. On
No,
now.
you can't play GT.
I need to get
out.
The competitor in me has me just really wanting to show you guys that I'm better than you at a game that I haven't even played yet.
Well, try it. You'll probably crush them.
Yeah, that's where I went a little while ago. I didn't have anything else to do. I just had to jump into Zombieland and beat a couple of West scores. Real quick.
You just wiped all of Wes's scores, right?
I'd be very surprised if you beat one of my times, Alex. Everyone tells me they can't beat it.
Actually,
14
but you know me
Wes
though,
beat
dude.
it.
You beat my time, Wes.
You did.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I did immediately, like I said I would.
So what's that?
You got to get back in there, GT.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go.
I have not. That's the only level that I didn't go through and get number 1 out of our friends. Was the one that you did, and now the one that Wes is number 1. But I'm stoked to get back in there.
Where are you in the world then, Wes?
on average, I'm around 20 to 25 on most of the
That's
levels.
insane, dude, isn't it? To be like anywhere on a leaderboard like that of a game is fucking crazy.
Because there's so many players. I mean, it's like thousands deep, this leaderboard.
Is it
so,
cross-platform leaderboards? It must be.
I'm not sure. I don't think so because this is a different version of the game. Like the reloaded version is only PlayStation. I think.
Oh,
I could be wrong about that. But.
Well, that means I really do need to go back in there because I don't think I've finished it on PSVR 2. Oh,
yeah,
no, they were
just finished.
You weren't
it.
on the board on a whole bunch of them, like you didn't even play it.
Oh,
So, yeah, you got to get back in there, dude.
I will do now. I didn't know that.
Now, here's the cool thing too: is that now, as opposed to when I played it on Quest, now every level has a remix version. So now, even though I've just completed the campaign, like every level has a B-side now that I can go back and play, and it'll all be fresh all over again.
They're super different too. I mean, it
Yeah.
doesn't even feel like you're playing the same level at all.
Mhm.
So it's pretty much twice the game.
Oh, and also Pavlov dropped a huge update. Fucking massive. On Steam, it was 55 gig.
Mm.
I was like,
Wow.
what the hell? And I went into their announcements on their Discord, and yeah, they've worked really hard. I think there's now like, on obviously not modded levels, but everything else, there's now parity for PSVR 2 and PC, it looks like. And there's cross-platform play now as well. So Steam are now playing PSVR players as we speak, which
Cool.
Nice.
must be so
Cool.
messy. It must be so
Yeah.
messy in there.
Wow.
Oh, yeah, that's awesome.
Damn.
I can't wait to jump back in.
I want to play it on PSVR 2. I still haven't. I
Yeah, me too.
Same.
pinged the dude a
Same.
few times. He doesn't ever answer me or anything, which doesn't have to, right? But like I did buy it on PC.
Going
and,
back to what
really
Eric said
enjoyed it.
earlier, I've already
Mhm.
bought the game. Technically, you've bought the game.
Right.
Yeah. It is weird. That conversation has happened a few times in the last couple of weeks, and I feel like, when you accidentally say you're trying to buy something near your phone, and then suddenly every time you check your phone, it comes up. It's
Mhm.
like, hopefully, if we keep talking about the fact that certain games should be on all, like you buy on what, like you buy the game regardless of what system you play on, now or in the future, like you've bought a copy of the game because everything's digital anyway. I would understand it if physically it couldn't work because physically it wouldn't be the same.
Would
But-
you pay like a slight increase in
I was
price
gonna
to
say,
get,
they
to
gotta
get like
charge
a
more.
like a master
do
version?
you know what? I would pay like a 10% charge to have it on a different system, for example.
So like 10%, because that's like, a $40 game going to 44. I could see like a $40 game going to $50,
Right.
or $55.
25%.
Do you know what?
Yeah.
I think it depends though, because I think it has to be an option. Because some people, for example, only want to play PSVR 2.
Right.
They're almost angry that Quest exists. Some people, so it's like they only want Quest games as well. It's the same thing.
I went in and did this on 3 different games somewhat recently. I did this with Tetris Effect. I paid the upgrade fee. I did it with Thumper, and I did it with Res Infinite. So I did all of the upgrade fees, and I was happy to do so. But I
Right.
didn't have to rebuy the game again. So.
Yeah.
But this is the same platform though, and
Yeah,
this is the
true.
thing. I can imagine that there's developers right now that there's like smoke coming out of their ears. You're like,
Yeah.
what? You want us to start giving away every copy, especially on cross platforms? And I mean, it sounds good for the consumer, but for the developer,
I
it sounds
mean-
like a fucking nightmare.
And it's like, that's just like what we as consumers want. But like in reality, like I couldn't tell you how many times I've bought Sonic the Hedgehog 2. Like I have bought
Skyrim.
that game so many times on so many different platforms. Like it is ridiculous. Every time I get a new system, if Sonic 2 is available on it, I'm buying it, so I don't know. It's like, we'll buy it anyway. A lot of the times if the game is good enough, or whatever, if the community supports it enough.
Yeah, you're right, dude. I don't know what my most rebought game is in VR. I'm not too sure. Certain
Beat
games
Saber, hands down.
probably
Hands
Beat
down,
Saber.
Beat Saber. Hands down. Yeah,
I remember
I bought it 3 times.
I bought Firewall twice because I think for some reason I couldn't get it in England straight away on the launch. So I bought the American version and figured it would be fine. And then it wasn't fine. I don't know why. When I went to play it on UK servers or something like that, something happened and I had to rebuy it, which was really gutting. But yeah. Oh, do you know what? I was talking to someone the other day about Quest 3. Like, Synapse actually was the game that triggered this conversation. How important eye tracking is at the moment. Like, I really enjoy eye tracking in games, and
Right.
to know that Quest 3 won't have that is a little bit disappointing, I think.
It is. For sure it is. Because you can see that that's clearly where the tech is going, like in the short term, not even the long term. So I don't know. I think it just kind of speaks to the shortened generation length for Meta. They're working on 2-year generations, and I got to imagine that there'll be a Pro 2 come out soon or something that'll make us forget about that pretty quickly.
We've also seen that eye tracking is expensive, right? Especially if you like license it from Toby or someone else and you're not doing it yourself. But even so, even if you are, it takes a lot of research development, dev time, hardware costs, engineering costs, R&D, right? It's an expensive thing to have. And we saw when Apple announced their headset that people aren't having price, man. They do not want to pay anything for anything. So, they got to keep the price of the headsets down. I would personally pay more to have it in there. Even though Meta having my eye tracking data scares the crap out of me.
Yeah.
They've already got it. They've already got it.
Yeah, they've already got everything.
Did you hear there was a post by I think someone who worked on the Apple headset at one point, and they said they learned that your eyes kind of like dilate like a slight amount right before you're about to click something, like with the UX, because your body is already expecting a reaction from the UX when you click something. So they can already kind of like pre-render that animation just by watching your eyes even before you do the pinch gesture. So
Wow.
That's crazy.
It's good to think of eye tracking as a first step to brain computer interfaces.
Yeah, I was really excited about eye tracking and dynamic photo rendering with Quest Pro, but there was hardly any games that actually went out their way to make use of it.
Yeah,
not
it is
like
a bummer.
PlayStation. Like PlayStation, it's almost like they make sure that they go to the developers. Like, we've got these features, make use of them.
Yeah, but there's 600,000 headsets out there for PlayStation VR 2. How many pros are out? I mean, that developers have to have a reason to want to develop for it, and there's not that many people that have the eye tracking.
That's a
for
good
the PC.
point. But then at the same time, I mean, chicken and the egg kind of thing. If you could make some really cool games for something and a reason, like Red Matter 2 on Quest Pro is stunning. It's really stunning. But yeah, I know what you mean. I do know what you mean. The Quest Pro wasn't it. It wasn't meant to be it. But yeah, Michelle B says she's got several copies of Skyrim. That's interesting.
Yeah, that's another good example.
Yeah.
Man, I've bought a lot of games on a lot of different platforms. I've definitely done that. And I will do that if a game is good enough. I'll definitely pay to, a game like Pavlov. I just don't know that. Is there enough? You guys tell me, because I haven't played it on PSVR.
They say that the
on it?
PSVR 2, it's the haptics, the adaptive triggers, that kind of stuff, right? I haven't tried it, but that's what people say.
I absolutely love Pavlov was one of the first games I played in PCVR, and I loved it, but I never found myself really want to play it online. Like, I liked going into the levels, downloading different mods, and then just bringing people off my live stream, playing like that. But Pavlov on PSVR 2, for some reason, wowed me all over again. It really
just give me a release date for Firewall already. Can we just cut to the chase here? Like, I'm ready for Firewall, bro. There's never been a VR game that has brought me back so much like that one.
I'm worried about Firewall, to be honest, but
I am too, but I'm giving it the benefit of the doubt, and I want to play it. I want to get in there. Maybe I'll like hit up my old squad and be like, hey guys, remember me? Let's fucking go.
I make one last random announcement that I saw on Twitter. That's kind of
I
interesting.
thought you were going to say rant, but yeah, go on.
No, rant. So last week there was a sale from GameStop for cheap index stuff. Well, Tundra Labs just announced that they are running a pilot to test the waters on selling refurbished Valve Index items. So you can buy like a headset only like for $240 and like a pair of controllers for $150. So
I'll do that.
Yeah, take a look at that. I think that's interesting.
I'll do that. I would buy an Index for $250. I have base stations. I have Knuckles. Like that would be sick.
The controllers would scare me. I gotta tell you. So I got like I think I told you guys I recently got my 6th set of Knuckles, right? Of Index controllers, and they came not even working properly.
Oh god.
Like I have to push my left thumbstick so hard that I feel like it's gonna snap in order to get a normal walk speed. Everyone else is cruising by me and they're like, "Bye, Skiva." And I'm like, like pushing my thumbstick to
I'd
get it
send
to
that
like,
shit back right now. You sent me faulty.
But I'm scared because if I send it back to them, they might send me a reverb one again, like not a reverb, a refurbed one again, right? Like, and I don't want more refurbed controllers. Like, oh,
Well, I mean, if
it sounds like you got one.
Yeah,
Sounds like
yeah.
you got the
this
refurb.
is a brand new. This is brand new. I bought them brand new.
Does
Like,
it matter though if it's broken? I mean, brand new garbage is still garbage, you know.
Yeah, the refurb would work better, I think.
Yep.
At least for a short
Sad.
time.
And subsequently that this is one of the good things about getting pre-owned stuff from GameStop.
Oh
is
yeah.
They typically for a very small price will allow you to buy an extended warranty for it. And I don't know if it's still like this, but it used to be like you could bring the thing in the store and smash it with a hammer right in front of them, and they would give you a new one. So
wow.
Yeah.
I should get them from there then.
Yeah,
Yeah.
their exchange. That's the one thing GameStop actually does right. If you pay for the exchange, the warranty or whatever, it's good.
Well,
I think
maybe
anybody
I
buying
will.
any headset right now is crazy. Like I don't
I agree with
like.
that.
I did a little thing on
It's
Saturday night,
Index though.
and I'm like, what? Don't buy any like. 'Cause somebody was asking like, what's the best headset to get right now? I'm like, none. Like right now, unless you have nothing,
No.
and I wouldn't buy anything right now. I wouldn't buy a
Right.
Valve Index. I wouldn't buy a Quest 2. I wouldn't buy a big screen Beyond.
You
The
should
big
buy
screen
a
Beyond to
PlayStation
me
VR
is like
too.
the biggest
Yes.
like weird headset like right now. I don't know where that like Todd is like I'm getting a big screen Beyond. I'm like, why? I don't get it. You already said you're getting a Quest 3. You already said you're going to get the Apple headset. Like where does that fit in? Like you already have a Valve Index. Where does the big screen Beyond fit into your myriad of headsets that you got to put on? Like I would just not tell anybody to buy a headset right now. Like I just don't, unless you can go out and get a Quest 2 for like $150 and you just want to have 2 headsets in your house. Like go get a cheap Quest 2 that's used or something like that. But other than that, do not buy anything until the Quest 3 comes out.
If you have a PlayStation,
Not even
5,
PlayStation. Yeah.
Yes. No, that was the only caveat. You have a PlayStation 5, then yeah, definitely go buy a PlayStation VR 2 just because of the library. Again, that's not even because of the headset. To me, the headset is okay. It's the library that makes it great.
Well, it's the only one that's going to be in existence for the next 5 or 6 years for that platform. So you might as well
God,
get it
I
now.
hope not, dude. I hope it doesn't
You hope
do
it's not the
that
same life
again.
cycle.
No, I'm happy if that goes for 3 years and then we're out. Like a new one, 6 months into 2.5 years is announced. Like it can't sit still. It can't sit still at the moment. Things are moving really quite quickly, and that will age pretty badly if that is the case. Because like someone else said in the chat as well, like it's a big headset. Like it's a chunky headset. I love the look of it. It feels more like a toy, kind of thing. But yeah, I don't know, dude.
Yeah, all these headsets are getting so small and so thin and so tiny, and everyone's like, "Look at my headset! Look at my headset! Look at this! Look at this!" And then you're like, "My PSVR 2 is awesome! Check this thing out!" Right? Massive.
I feel like Brad needs to weigh in here.
Well, he sold his PSVR 2 anyway, so
Just like in terms, like if you were gonna like someone's like, "Hey, I want to buy a VR
He's
headset."
not-
Like,
oh,
do you
right,
do you
yeah.
agree? Do you
I
agree
would
with
wait
Mash?
too. I agree.
Wait for the Valve Deckard.
I would wait. No, like in general though, like I agree. Like wait for the Quest 3 stuff and see if anything else happens.
You're talking double the power. Like, why would you gimp yourself now? It's so close, right? So
Yeah.
What do you guys think's going to happen after the Quest 3 comes out? We have how many headsets do we have now using the XR2? Like, there's a lot, right? Do you think everyone is going to follow suit with updates pretty fast? Do you think they'll be able to even obtain them from Qualcomm, or you think Meta's scooping up the, a year or two's worth of supplies? Or, I mean, what do you think's going to happen here? I feel like with a new chipset like this, everyone's got to be scrambling.
I think that Pimax is going to announce a 16K standalone.
And it'll be out next Tuesday.
Yeah.
Oh, you need a crane to put it on your
coming.
head.
It's gonna be amazing though. You need to get it, Mash.
What do you think? Like, what
Yeah.
companies now, after the Apple thing, do you think are now considering even making a VR headset to get in the space? I wonder if that's
lot
changed.
More.
Do you know what I mean?
Definitely more.
And there's some
Mhm.
big players out there that could just get involved suddenly, like just out of the blue, you know?
Right. Try
We
to
know
undercut them.
Samsung is already coming, right? They're going to Samsung and is it Samsung and Google?
Google?
Yeah.
Are going to team up to make. We already know that's coming. I mean, I could see something. I mean, there always, I think, will be companies that can make things. Is whether they make them well. That's the question. You know,
Yeah.
HP. I mean, is HP done? I mean, I think they're done, but maybe they're not. Maybe they're working on a headset right now that we don't even know about.
LG.
Maybe still will have
yeah, maybe
terrible tracking.
Dell. Maybe Dell has an epic headset coming out.
Imagine if Nvidia.
Oh,
Imagine
a
if
gateway.
Nvidia made,
Gateway.
made a
Nvidia.
headset.
Gateway headset that
Oh,
looks like the cow.
bro.
Then that's like
What?
GT just blew my mind. Can you imagine if Nvidia was like, "Yo, we're stepping up the game
I
here,
can see it completely.
announcing the Nvidia VR 5 with a 4090 built in."
I mean, they make monitors. They've done the
Oh,
Shield
God.
TV thing.
Yeah,
They could, and they've got a
That'd be
name
sick.
where literally suddenly people are go, what?
Right.
what's
What of
going-
EVGA? They're not doing as much, right? They have space.
yeah, but they use Nvidia stuff, don't they? I
Yeah.
mean, so like Nvidia would be the
Ooh.
one, and then Nvidia has all of the AI tech that works on their chips, right? So they
True.
could do. Man, that would be.
What
sick.
about
That would be sick.
Atari?
Yeah.
Mm.
We'll go and dig up everyone at Atari and make them make something.
I mean, but they've met this
Yeah.
Pixel Rip project with such enthusiasm.
Mhm.
They
And
have.
they were like the original gaming hardware system. They've been out of the game since. I don't know, just dreaming, I guess.
That would be
but-
cool. Do you remember all of those renders came out of a supposed Atari VR headset? It was maybe a year ago. They were all over Twitter. It's kind of cool, like
Yeah.
wood grain headsets and stuff.
That's
I would
funny.
just be happy
I
with their
didn't see this.
software. Just keep making games. Keep making old Atari games into
Yeah.
into VR games would be cool enough for me.
Yeah, the
I
triangulator
mean-
asks, what major company would I like to see get into the VR market? To be honest, I thought Nvidia would be a great one. It'd be Nintendo all day long. Like, I just want that library of games. Their exclusive IPs are brilliant in my opinion. But,
Yeah.
Oh God, I cannot even imagine a first-person Zelda game the way that they're making them now. Like, that would be ridiculous in VR.
yeah.
Give me Mario Kart VR or give me death.
For real, that's such a no-brainer. That's low-hanging fruit for sure. Like, I know that they could. I mean, they've already made it.
Yeah, that's already
Nintendo
exists.
make that though.
It was
Yeah,
Namco,
they-
wasn't it?
It was Bandai Namco and
Yeah.
Nintendo teamed up
Yeah.
together, and I went to California and played it, and it was freaking phenomenal.
Was it on a
so
Vive?
good.
Was it
It's
on
cool.
Vive Pros?
It was on Vive.
Oh,
Wow, the
Vive.
original.
Vive.
Wow.
Yeah, but like little motion chairs, fans. You didn't have controllers. You had Vive pucks on your hands, so you could grab things and throw them at the opponents. It was so good. It was so good.
Brad says he doesn't want another company to step in. He just wants Valve to step in, basically. He doesn't want a new company. He wants them to step up.
Agreed.
What was
I
it that
do
you told
too.
me, Brad, at CES when you stopped by the Contact CI booth and you did our demo there?
I said it was such a relief to put on the Valve Index after trying on so many other weird headsets at that event.
He was
Really?
at CES, yeah, and if I'm remembering correctly, he said something along the lines like the Valve Index is the best headset I've tried at CES 2023, and it's like, ooh,
Wow. And how long has
That is
Index been
cool.
out? Spencer.
Yeah,
4
a long
years.
time.
That's crazy. So how many headsets do you think you tried at the event?
At least 5. It's just, I don't know. It was just nice to put something on that was comfy and kind of I knew what to expect,
Yeah,
Nice.
that's where
It was
it all
comfy.
comes into it. Like, comfort's such an issue because they're dealing with weight as well a lot of the time. If you can alleviate the weight as the technology gets better, I imagine with big screen that must be, how much does that thing weigh, the big screen?
It's like 200 grams max.
Jesus. How much do
awesome.
sunglasses weigh? Like, is it like wow.
50 grams maybe.
That's insane. That is so cool. Oh yeah, and Formula One, I think 2023 come out. Don't know if anyone's interested in playing that.
I didn't play 22. Was it good?
It was good. It was really performance hungry. And even when you felt like everything was running right and you walked away from it, the next day you started it would still not perform very well. And you know, that side of it got a bit frustrating. Some people accepted it. You know, I watched a stream today and they spend a large part of the stream just going through menus, setting it all up, getting it to a point. Then they do a race and then you're like back at the menus and I'm like, don't know.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
I
don't know
can't even
about
get myself to go through a tutorial on a game, let alone fucking sit 2 hours trying to set it up.
I literally, my
crazy.
excitement made me forget because it's an amazing experience playing the game in VR. It really is. It's brilliant. But everything has to work right. That's why I love PSVR 2 though. And I said that before with certain things. It's just because it really does feel like plug and play, even over Oculus Link. Because with Oculus Link, turning my PC on at the moment seems like, oh yeah, I got to turn my PC on. Then I've got to start up Oculus. Then I've probably got to start up Steam. And then I've got to start up the game. And then I really hope that the game doesn't crash. On PSVR 2, like, you put the headset on, press the button on the front, and it just feels like you're playing a game.
Yeah.
And it's a real shame you're not welcomed into VR in VR. Like, you're still welcome to a flat menu.
And you know what's the worst is there's a certain part of that onboarding experience that doesn't get shared on the social screen. So when you're trying to demo PSVR 2 to new people who don't know what to do, you can't really give them instruction because you can't see what they're looking at. So that kind of sucks.
Yeah.
And there is no demos. There's still like, and I don't mean that I mean that in a sense of like Playroom or what am I talking about? What was the main fucking launch thing on PSVR?
PSVR Worlds.
PSVR Worlds.
Or the Demo Disc Volume 1. That was the first VR I ever played was Demo Disc Volume 1. And I played that thing for a week over and over
Dude,
and over
I think
again.
I played that thing for 2-3 years, to be honest, at times. And it was a regular, easy one. So people come round and go, I'm going to put this on, you know, and they'd be fucking attacked by a shark, or they're doing Street Luge, or they're doing all these amazing, or next minute there was just so many great VR demos in there.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I could sit someone down in the London heist to do the training, and you could pick up a can, pick up a gun, open a drawer,
Smoke a stogie.
the fucking their brains are like, what the like a
London
Scavengers
Heist
out.
is so dope.
It was
So
just
good.
it was so amazing to see these people react. And again, it was like there was no real setup. It was like stick the PlayStation on. That was it. Really? You know.
Yeah.
Something about it just working, and that's why Quest is so successful. I mean,
Yeah,
most time you
same.
put it on, it just works. You know.
Yeah. Like I can't wait for that form factor to be no different to like a hat. You know,
Mhm.
you don't have to adjust anything or whatever it's going to be at some point when the weight goes down, that you just like slip it on. It's like, yeah, because the Apple actually looks massive. Didn't really pick up on it till someone posted a picture, or Apple posted a picture and someone gave them praise for saying they're not trying to hide it. It was really quite far out of their face.
So speaking of Apple again, we didn't mention that was it Ubisoft put out a tweet showing Splinter Cell with an Apple headset on.
I saw that.
Did you see that? And it said the character's name. What's the character's
Oh,
name?
Sam Fisher.
right,
Sam
right,
Fisher.
Sam
right.
Fisher got new
Rewind
gear
that,
or something.
Skiva. Rewind that.
Yeah.
Sorry, say it again.
Yeah, so Ubisoft put out a tweet showing Sam Fisher saying he got new gear and he's wearing an Apple headset with the little green dots for Splinter Cell.
You're absolutely
Yeah, I don't
Winding me
know
up.
what that means. If they're just stoked about
biggest
Apple
troll
getting
ever.
in
Was
the-
it
yeah, might be
Montreal?
the
Was
biggest
it
troll, but-
Ubisoft or Ubisoft UK? Which one was it? Do you know?
Ubisoft UK.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that means they're around the corner, so I might go and have a word.
Dude,
Do it. Yeah,
Yeah, go
let's
talk to him
I've
for
been
it.
to
There's
their-
no
I've been to
VR,
their
no
offices
VR with
before.
Apple, right?
Rezzle VR has gifted another 20
What?
memberships.
And Brad
That
got
is-
another one.
Brad,
is-
how many are you going to get today?
Stop it,
Brad,
Brad.
dude.
That is
how
40 memberships to the
Wow.
VR CruCast given by Rezzle
Wow.
VR during this broadcast. That is
Dang.
ridiculous. And
Between Rezzle and Snowtoad, Man,
What are
they're
the, what are
gonna
the odds
cover
that only
everyone.
one of us have gotten a membership?
I
so far?
know. I want one. Damn it.
I
What the
know.
hell?
Probably Brad.
Why am I getting gaslit so hard right now?
Well, you deserve
I love
four.
it.
Yeah, dude, you've like Rezel today has put nearly 50% of the viewers as channel members.
There we go.
Dang.
Yeah, and you know what? I'm just thank you. Thank you. I don't know what else to say.
We should just have him keep going until one of us gets.
That's right.
Keep doing it until
20.
one of us gets in there.
That's
That's
the way it has to
hilarious.
be.
Thank you ever so much. I really appreciate it. Yeah, it's crazy.
Real.
Thank you. And
That's cool.
Sherzod actually, he says, can we use new puck versus base stations for Beyond? And I'm assuming that's for Brad.
New what? Sorry.
New puck? I don't know what that means.
So probably the new HTC Vive
HTC?
self tracker,
Oh.
right? And they did show the big screen headset with that new self tracking puck on it to make it self tracked. So probably
Maybe.
We
No
hope.
idea.
We don't know.
It
We
makes
don't
sense.
know. Yeah.
it's not out yet.
I mean,
So
they've
the
said that
pucks
it
aren't out
wasn't.
yet.
They said already that it wasn't going to be proprietary to their hardware. It was going to be
Mhm.
for all hardware. So I don't see why it wouldn't.
Here's the
Absolutely.
problem though, with that. All right, I'm gonna be the nerd. So the only thing
Like he's never not the nerd.
That's
What?
what you're here for.
Oh
He's
my
like,
god.
Look, I'm gonna get uncool for a minute and just be a nerd. There you go.
No, you
All
are
right.
cool,
All
Brad.
right, Brad,
You know,
That's
just
what
do it for
makes
a
him
minute
cool.
though. Just for a minute. Go ahead.
you are
So
cool,
I
Brad.
think
You
it'd be
are
really
cool.
difficult purely because every time I've seen, I know HTC relies on the OpenVR space calibrator, which still requires you to use lighthouses to set that up. Because basically the way it works is you have to sync the two play spaces, and then after that, I'm starting to doubt it. Basically, the more I think about it, is all I'm gonna say. I don't know.
Hmm.
That's
We
a
need to find that
no.
out. Let's find out. I'm gonna call.
Does sound like a no.
Sounds like a
Like,
no
I
to
think,
me.
like they would have to get Big Screen to literally design a whole compute. I think it's I don't know. I'm very not believing anymore. Sorry.
Well, I got my fingers crossed.
Yeah, it'd be cool.
Nice. Well,
That
thank
would
you.
help a lot of people get into a headset like that, right? So I
Yeah.
hope they
True.
get it worked
Shut up.
out.
Where
Go
are we?
ahead, GT. We're
Sorry.
ready.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Wolf Raza, he says, can we talk about Thrill's video forcing Apple UI on Quest Pro? I thought he made like I thought he used something that kind of
faked
looked
it.
like it
Yeah.
was a fake version of it. Like,
Oh,
was it working? Did it even work? Or is it just like the menus that he could just interact with?
It was a visual interaction thing. more
Yeah, I
than-
don't think it actually done anything. Unless someone thinks something different. I didn't see his video, I just saw the tweet and the kind of description behind it, and I figured it was like a pretend version of it.
Yeah.
Which looked cool. Like not saying it isn't cool. But
Love Thrill Seeker.
yes, I've met him.
He's a homie.
He's lovely.
I hope the Quest UI gets way better after seeing what Apple's doing with their UI stuff. Like,
Mate, I tell you what, that is the updates scare the crap out of me now, honestly, because some days you get in there and things just aren't working right, and you're like, "What is going on again?"
that's what I was gonna say when you were saying the Quest. You just turn it on and it just works. I was like, wow, sometimes it doesn't just work. I've had it to where my games are saying it's in a queue downloading, and I'm stuck. I can't do anything, and that was a fucking nightmare. So I think the Quest, it has its issues still. I think they need to, like Brad said, fix a lot of things.
Quest
and
Pro
the UI would-
definitely does.
does it.
I need like 5 minutes just to like get that thing like up and running to like, you know, like running temperature. Like when I turn that thing on, like the controllers don't work. It like doesn't grab the room properly. I have to like move around and like get weird with it in order for it to kind of kick in and
Get
take
freaky.
get up and running.
You know who else
Yeah.
likes to get freaky with it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Here's the good question
does.
though. If this Apple headset comes out and they can break this thing to where you can run Steam VR on it,
Oh yeah.
then how many people are actually going to buy it?
None. Well, actually, no.
You don't
I
think
guess
so?
they could.
You don't
If
think
they
if
could
they
use
open
their
this thing up
existing
to the
hardware.
actual true VR and you could use like, I don't know, say you could use knuckle controllers
Then
and
yes.
base stations or something.
Then
I don't know.
yes.
Figure,
Right.
figure some kind of controller system out. I mean, come
Yeah.
on. I mean, that That would be insane. I want that.
It would be insane. It would be insane.
$3,500 insane.
Right.
I'm there. I'm still there. I'm there right now.
Insane.
Are
I'm
you
there
still
now. and I don't
really?
have
Yeah.
that.
That's
already
cheap,
there.
right, Mash? $3,500. That's cheap.
For what's
That's
in
the
the
word
headset,
that he
it's cheap.
uses.
It's annoying
Yeah.
because I've now got to think about other things. Like since that's happened, I've now got to try and find some sort of transport. And I'm like, that would probably maybe cost near the amount of that headset. And it's like, oh,
It's a
what do I
good used
do?
car.
Will I even get it in the UK? Like, because it is coming to America first, I believe.
Mhm.
So, it might
You
be.
got
a good...
friends. You got friends that can help
I'll
you.
sell
They're
you
not in
one
high
day.
You don't know anyone
places.
in
They're not in
America,
high
do you?
places. I might have friends, but they're not.
No, it's going to cost you 20%, but I can get you one.
Yeah.
Thanks,
Well,
Alex.
I'll buy one for you. You just got to fly me to England. I'll deliver it for you.
I'll make you a nice cup of tea when you get here.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can take us to your local pawn shops.
Oh, nice. Corn shops. Let's go.
We never said it last week. Everyone was so hyped. It never came out last week. And we're not going there. I need to find
Oh.
another word maybe that I can say wrong for you guys, but I can't think of any.
There's
This
a
one
lot.
works. We'll just use this one. That's fine.
Pawn shop. Yes. Thank you ever so much to everyone for watching. Thank you. Like, it's been insane the amount of support that's coming through. And Capcom Showcase is on now, I believe. If you
Is
wanna
it
go
on
and
right
watch
now?
that. It's on right
Big
now.
days.
And
Right
yeah, thanks
now.
to all you lads for being here. Appreciate it as always. And hopefully I will see you all next Monday.
Well, yeah.
We will do this again next Monday.
Next
Same
Monday.
CruCast time, same CruCast place,
No
same
poop.
dudes.
No poop.
No poop.
Yeah, no poop.
Zero poop.
Actually,
I'll be here for the whole time. I promise.
No pooping doesn't sound good. Actually, sounds very uncomfortable.
Have you ever?
Don't knock it till you try it, bro.
So what?
Right.
What? Don't try. Yeah, everyone try and hold their poop. Right. See you later,
Next
guys.
week.
Take care. See you next week.